Psychic Mario mornings, Jay Thomas afternoons, the Sirius Stars Channel, Sirius 102, 888-4-102-102.
From New York City. I'd have been a great announcer. Hey, it's the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102. Rodney Lee Conover is in our special deck chair. I didn't know what chair to call it, Rodney. Or
That's a good one. I like that.
He's in the deck chair. There he is.
Nice.
Captain,
Don't say
Conover.
dick chair though. Deck
No.
chair. Enunciate.
Sean Kelly is the executive producer. Garrett Andrich is the other producer who does other stuff. And then, of course, the guests are brought in by Art Sears and Andrea Bushy. We had Richard Belzer on a couple of days ago. I got more than one
How
email.
come I'm never on the show when we've got a guest like Richard Belzer? I love that guy.
You mean
a million years I've loved him.
Why don't you just say what you were thinking? You mean a good guest?
Well, we've got Ed Asner today, who I think is even better. So I can't really say that.
We'll talk about Ed Asner in a minute because I have
I love that guy.
I have a question to ask Ed Asner.
Boy, I do too.
And I've known Ed for a long time, and I have never asked him this question because he always seemed like if you asked it of him,
that he'd hit you.
Yeah, that's going to be
exactly right.
That's right. Now, Belzer came on, and I got a number of emails at jthomas.com, people saying that you sounded like Belzer.
You do a little bit.
No, you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think when you're not energized, maybe you sound like him. That kind of conceited, sarcastic.
Then you kind of talk like, yeah, babe, yeah, sure, yeah.
He doesn't really talk like that
I don't
anymore.
do that.
You know what he is? He's really...
Yeah, right, Jay.
Did he
Yeah,
sound rich to you, Garrett? He sounds really rich, doesn't he? He's like...
He kind of reminds me of how people say Seinfeld is. Like he's too good for everyone. Everything.
A little bit above it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garrett, thanks.
Turn your mic up,
right.
Garrett. I'm sitting next to you.
I can barely hear you, too,
Oh, yeah?
Garrett.
Huh?
Yeah.
There you go, buddy.
You got to get right in there.
Talk like you're talking to your girl.
They say that Seinfeld is too good for everyone, huh?
That's the way he acts, yeah.
You know, I've accosted him a number of times.
You know, when you've got $300 million, it kind of lends itself to that. You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
it's way past $300 million.
Well, I mean, in
way
his
past.
IRA.
You know that he was paid like $10 or $15 million for those ads for Microsoft that never ran, that stopped running.
Yeah, babe.
You know what? I didn't think those ads were bad. I didn't get...
They sucked. They lent into exactly what Garrett is saying. Those two were acting like they were talking to the proletariat, from up on the hill.
Well, they are. They're...
Yeah, but you don't do it. It's just like when the liberals when they show their contempt for the voters.
Right.
It's like, we know you hate us, but don't fucking, don't say it in public.
The liberals hate the voters. Now, this is a new one. I haven't even seen
I shouldn't say hate. They're in large contempt for the voters. Let's put it that way.
The liberals...
yeah.
Now,
You heard John Murtha the other day? Called people of Pennsylvania rednecks.
Well, he meant the people that
racists.
the people that aren't Democrats.
Oh, no. He was talking about Democratic voters.
The whole thing.
It's
Man.
contempt. That's all it is. It's like a lot of people in Hollywood that put on a face when they go out. Mm-hmm. But we've heard them behind closed doors.
Sure we have.
Contempt they have for the... Jesus, if people knew...
Many of them had
what goes
contempt
on
for
here.
us when we were sitting next to them.
Absolutely.
We knew they had contempt for us.
We caught plenty of that.
Contempt. So what they do is they always take some old fart, which this guy Murtha is. He's an old fart. And he's a big fat old fart. And he says something just like your old granddad would say. And you put a stamp on all Democrats for that.
Yes.
And that
correct.
would be like me saying that all Republicans were like Jesse Helms, which is not true.
Which you do all the time.
No. I stopped doing
Jay, you paint with the broadest brush since Picasso.
Okay, you want to know something?
Go.
I truly believe.
Are you changed, Jay?
No, what it is
Has Obama changed you? Do you have change in hope?
You have a contempt for who I really am.
I do.
I am truly a person in the middle. I don't judge
I'm
people.
sorry, I had to back off there.
This is something that I know that every liberal commentator
When you're in
today-
the middle, what does that mean? Does that mean you agree half with Republicans, half with Democrats?
Yes.
Explain that.
That's exactly what it means.
You can't name two real issues that you agree with Republicans.
I can't
And don't
name-
give me this homeless shit.
I can't name
Stop with
two
that.
of your friends.
I know. You have contempt for me.
So why would I know anything about the
I'm just
government?
saying you're not in the middle. You don't agree with anything Republicans
No, but I am
with.
in the middle. Watch this.
100% Democrat.
Look, just recently, on the Republican side, I asked for the extermination of all homeless. And I called for that. If I was in Congress, I would have...
What's that got to do with anything?
Because the homeless should be eliminated. No one would miss them. They have no families.
Yeah,
no one cares
is
about
that in the Republican platform or something?
Yeah, Republicans would love that.
See that? You just did what I accused you of. You painted with a broad brush.
Here's the one I don't understand, and someone explained it to me.
Go.
If the Republicans hate taxes and hate welfare and all of that, why don't they like abortion? Because that gets rid of, or at least birth control advice, which they're not allowed to give. Why that would get rid of a lot of these unwanted kids, or a portion of them, that they have to pay for. And the Democrats ought to be the ones that are against abortion so that they keep having all of this scum out of wedlock. I don't get it.
Here's another one. Why aren't Democrats for tax cuts for the rich? In fact, for everybody. Why aren't they for that? Because every time it's happened in history, whether it's John Kennedy, Reagan, Bush, every time they give these massive tax cuts, it results in record revenues coming into the government. Now, if you're a tax and spend, if you believe,
it's not true.
What are you talking about?
You know why it's not true, and I'll tell you why. And
It was true this last time. It was true in the 80s. It was true under Kennedy. And why aren't you for it? Because that brings more money in that you can give to people that don't want to work.
I can't pull it up right now, but I was just doing a search recently, and the University of Chicago has done, and I'll tell you why I watch them. I buy a mutual fund that comes out of the University of Chicago Economic Group. Been there for 50, 60 years, and I bought all of it that I could buy, this mutual fund. And they have charts. Every recession has come during tax cuts. Because what happens is it doesn't trickle down to the public. It's kept by the people at the company.
Well, then how come there's record tax revenues according to the IRS?
Well, when you
if they keep
I don't have that in front of me. I don't know. But
I do. If they keep their money,
right.
Why are they paying more taxes in dollars?
You can say all that you want to.
I can say it all day, and it'll still be true.
Okay.
Though, Jay.
Here's the other thing. We gave this $700 billion bailout. Do you know that $125 billion is going to 2 or 3 companies? They're taking $25 billion of this, Sean, and they're paying it as dividends. So they're not going to rebuild.
Who's they, I wonder?
You know what? I didn't see the list of companies.
No. Who's they? Who's giving this bailout?
We are, the United States.
You mean the democratically controlled Congress?
Exactly.
Are you mad at them?
Absolutely.
So am I.
They should have put in there, you can't give the dividends to people.
How about don't bail out a bunch of assholes that bought a house they can't afford and a bunch of con men who sold it to them?
Because it's PR. Politics is PR. You know that. It's public relations. It's become the Late Late Show with David Letterman. It's become the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. You know, Jay Leno doesn't have anybody on, does he? You know?
What do you mean?
When's the last time he had a political person on?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't watch him.
He doesn't have it on, so.
Yeah, you don't watch him either, do you?
You know, but Jay Leno doesn't bother me. I do think he's funny. I don't get it. I think NBC. And listen, I am not a Conan O'Brien fan.
Oh, really?
And I hope
I can't wait till
I hope he
earlier.
fails the biggest failure in the history of failures.
He is going to be such a hit.
Why are you laughing at me, Garrett? Just because he stopped having me on his show? He offered me a refrigerator.
No, he didn't.
Well, you know what? I didn't like doing that show.
Okay.
They offered me a refrigerator. It was the dumbest thing I ever heard. They said,
but was it a joke?
No, it wasn't.
It was too.
No, it wasn't.
Come on.
No, it wasn't a joke.
Okay, you tell your audience today what happened, and let the audience decide if it was a joke.
Does GE still own NBC? Do they still own it? Okay.
I believe so.
This is years ago when he was first getting going.
Or we do.
I did the show a couple of times, and I wasn't comfortable doing the show, right? I just didn't like it. And I didn't get along with him, and I didn't get it. So they called back one time, and they said, look, we'd love to have you on again. He'd love to have you on again. And I said, I told my publicist I don't want to do it. They called back, and they said, we know the $420 is nothing, but how about if we gave you a refrigerator or some appliances? I swear to God.
That's funny.
And I swear to God, they offered, and I said the same thing. Are you kidding? They said, no, we mean
what
it.
You should have said?
What?
I'd rather have a trash compactor. See, you had comedy gold there. Why didn't you call?
Well, you know what? I didn't call you to get, to write me a line or two for my response. And so that was the end of that. So one day, I'm here at Sirius. I'm walking down the street. We're right across from 30 Rockefeller Plaza. There's Conan O'Brien. You know, he's 6'7". Did you know that?
Sure.
He's huge. I'm walking down the street. He's just going in, and I'm, way down below him. I go, "Hey, Conan, it's me, Jay Thomas." He goes, "Oh, yeah, hi," and went right by me like that.
Well, you won't do his show. You expect him to be nice to you now?
I don't
Well,
think,
you want everything.
No, I don't think he knew who I was. I don't think he was snubbing me because I didn't do his show. I think this guy, that's the feeling I got when I went on his show. There was no chemistry there. There wasn't even chemistry in the street. How's
He's
that?
got the funniest show in late night, hands down.
Jerry of Ohio, the Jay Thomas Show, 888-4-102-102.
For me to poop on.
Rodney Lee Conover.
That's me.
Yes, sir. Jerry of Ohio. Yes, sir.
Hi, Jay.
You know why the Democrats tax the rich, Jerry?
Because they love to harass us.
That's exactly right, Jerry. You took the words out of my mouth. We tax the rich because it's fun to see the rich squirm.
Jay, it really pisses me off is I hear Obama say, the last 8 years. Well, I can't remember. Up until about 2 years ago, I had quite a bit of money in my 401. Mm-hmm. Fuel prices were like $1.80, $1.90 a gallon. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, Pelosi and her little cutthroat gang came in. They were going to do this. They were going to shit and fall back into it, as far as I'm concerned.
The United States government has had nothing to do with the economy. Hold on.
I lost $60,000.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the... That has...
Okay, I see.
And if the Republicans are in and it goes bad, then they got plenty to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
But when the Democrats are in, we got nothing to do with it.
No, it doesn't. It really does. Now,
Got everything to do with it.
I'll stay in the middle and I'll tell you. Watch this. The Democrats threatened Fannie Mae and made them give those bad loans. Now, that's the truth. And
bullshit!
They did threaten them.
They bullshit. They did not threaten them if they didn't give the loans.
That's what I said. That's what I said. They threatened them and made them give the loans. That's true.
Okay.
That's absolutely true. So you're correct in that. Okay. But there is something that the banks are allowed to do called credit derivatives. There are 60 trillion of them out there. When they go, we're done. And here's what a credit derivative is. It is basically a loan, a credit loan that is based on no collateral. Rodney and Jerry of Ohio. There is nothing behind it. It was an invention, an exotic invention of bankers, of, investment bankers. If Jerry, Rodney, and I, Sean, and Garrett, if we worked at an investment...
Bought a house together. And
No.
I thought you were going
and then
that
it would
way.
be Big Brother. No, if we were in an investment company and we went out every night and we...
What would we be called, Jay?
Huh? Well,
It's
first
a
of
mess
all,
down there.
we wouldn't tell Sean what we were thinking most of the time.
No, I put him in charge.
Sean, we'd put you in charge.
Scheduling.
Oh, that's perfect.
You know why you'd be in charge?
Because then I'd have to take the...
Yes, you would go to
Take
jail.
the arrows.
You'd
Exactly.
go to jail. And you know what's funny, though? Can I be honest with you, Sean?
Yes, Jay.
People don't like you, so it would be many people would think you did something. All right?
That's fine with me.
Because you're an elitist.
I am an elitist and a socialist.
You are.
And a left-winger.
Yeah, you're
How can you be an
and,
elitist and a socialist?
Yeah,
He is.
exactly.
I don't know
How does that work?
It's impossible to imagine.
My
but he
mother
did it.
was Indian.
Now, here's
A
the thing.
socialist.
What would the name of our investment company be, Jerry of Ohio? We're all together, all of us.
It's allmine.com.
There you go. It's allmine.com. Okay. Hey, by the way, Rodney, I started a new thing. You can say anything horrible that you want to say as long as you put .com on the end of it. It softens it.
Oh.
No, don't play it now, idiot. I didn't do it now, you idiot. Not now, idiot. No, that doesn't soften it. I wanted that to stay hard.
Jay,
You
I like
idiot.
that.
Hold it. Jerry, say the worst thing you can say and then pause at the end of it. Go ahead about anybody. Just don't say the N word. That's all. Say anything you want to say. Go ahead, Jerry. Worst thing you can say.
Jay, I think we're being fed a lot of bullshit from the Democrats.
See,
I have that, but .org.
So here's the deal. We're all together, and we go drinking and all, and so people have been putting their money in our investment plan, and we've been planning the money with it. And after a while, we would get bored. We go, look, let's think of something else. And so they think of things all the time. It's part of the capitalistic thing, except the things they've thought about don't have any, you don't back it by anything. And so this derivatives thing, which is really difficult to understand, is $60 trillion, and it's this credit that's been given that has no basis. It's almost like selling a house 10 times to different people, and you've used the credit of the original house. That's what a derivative is. They're talking about when that goes, Rodney, it's even worse than this. That's where the Depression is waiting for us.
Hey, it's the frat boys from the late
sir.
70s. I'm telling you.
Not just Democrats and Republicans. Yes.
No, not all of them.
Absolutely.
Sticking with that story.
Absolutely.
Those fucks.
Hey, by the way, hey, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Where was my .com, Jerry? Thank you.
Jerry, why don't they blame the almost $1 trillion we spent on the two wars as part of our problem? Why don't you blame it on that, Jerry?
Well, number one, President Bush, we can go through this over and over. He was fed a line of bullshit, too, then. So all of a sudden, Colin Powell, he's a great Democrat. The Democrats love him. All of a sudden, they love him. But he's the one that helped push this country into that war. How about Rumsfeld? All these people. They gave President Bush a line of shit.
You don't think that he wasn't trying to impress his daddy and show that he was a tough guy and went into it?
No.
Boy, you give him a lot of... Did you see the movie W, Jerry?
No, I didn't even want to be bothered by anything.
Jerry.
My own, I don't even want to be bothered.
I want you to go see W. Call me, and I'll give you your $10. Call me back, and I want you to review the movie.
Oh, come on, Jake.
I'll give you a T-shirt. I'll give you a hat. All right.
Come on.
I'll give you a hard time. How about
Give me a
that?
hard time. That's right. All right. Thank you, Jerry of Ohio. Now,
I like that dude. I like that dude.
Well, because he likes you. That's why you like him.
Does he like me?
He does. That's why he called.
Well, there's one.
Hit the button. Hit the button again, please. There's one. Thank you. Gary of Texas. Gary, it's the Jay Thomas Show. Always exciting when Ronnie Lee Conover is here. Many emails come in saying we sound like a battling married couple. I don't care. Somehow I like it. I don't know what it is. He opens another door, okay? Another door. A door to stupidity.
Yes, .com.
Door to nonsense. A door to complete friggin' foolishness. That's right. Yes. Gary.
You know what? I love this bit.
Gary, yes, sir.
Yeah, I had I'm as busy as for you. I missed you last week.
That's
boy.
right. The other day I started
Old
the show.
school.
Hold on a second. I'm as busy. What was I? I was as busy. What's the old one we did?
As busy as Nancy Kerrigan's dentist.
There you go. As busy as Nancy Kerrigan's dentist. What is yours, Gary, of Texas?
I'm as busy as a hooker on 2 for Tuesday.
No.
You're abusing the .com
Yeah, you
thing
sure
now,
are.
Garrett.
Now, Garrett, it's over now.
Come on.
All right, Gary, thank
Like
you.
the bowling pin.
Think of another one. Thank you. I love Gary goes, thank you. Now, here's one that
Hey, are you in New York, Jay?
Yes, I am. Brian.
How's it going there?
You know, it's freezing cold.
Is it? And have you done any television shows or some exciting shit you can tell everybody?
We did.
Well, come on, let's hear it.
We did Mike and Juliet.
You did not.
We did on
are they?
Fox. That's right. Who
I
are
mean,
they? But people who watch Fox know who they are.
Now, are they a morning kind
They
of
are
deal?
the Regis and Kelly of Fox News.
But that's just for New York or the nation?
No, the whole United States.
Really?
And JT came out with his pants off.
Oh, get out of here.
No, he came out with his pants off.
That's funny.
So it got on Best Week Ever, and which is a VH1 show. Is that what it's on? Or yeah, VH1. And so what's happened is it's
Oh,
not.
is it on YouTube?
You know what's on?
I bet it is.
You know what's on right now? Dr. Phil is on right now.
With you?
Yeah, with JT and I.
Oh shit! I gotta turn it. on.
Well, maybe not in California, but
Oh no. Yeah, I'll check it out though.
okay. And then
Somebody told me you said my name.
yes,
Get out of here.
I always say that I sent Rodney Lee Conover, my friend, to meet this kid.
Oh, but that's true. I did meet JT before you did.
Why did I send you though?
Well, to check it out, of course.
So if he was going to kill somebody, it wasn't going to be me.
Yeah, it wasn't about. I don't think it was about kill though. I think you were a little bit worried about the money thing. You were riding pretty high at that time.
I was worried.
Yeah, you were.
About if he
you had
was-
your own sitcom.
If he was a
you
nut.
had a fucking #1 radio show in your own sitcom. That's riding high.
What would you have done if you'd have sat next to a kid and I said, look, my illegitimate son is going to be at this show. Sit next to him. And he had the spiked hair and he had like a nail in his nose and looked completely freaked and heroined out. What would you have done?
I would have befriended him. I would have gone out for drinks with him and then killed him in the alley.
There you go. There you go. Don't you do it, dear. Doesn't deserve it.com. All right. Thank you. Paul of Michigan. You know what, Garrett? You worked for Opie and Anthony too long. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You didn't learn the right way.
Yep.
I've almost worked for you longer.
Really?
Getting there.
Did they
We'll
fire
take care
you?
of that.
No, I just didn't go over with them.
Well, that's called fired.
Garrett?
You know the one I like? Did you get fired? No, they didn't pick up my contract. That's the one I love. Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, it was 2 years in between.
I didn't get fired. They let me go.
You know, yeah, that's another one. I wasn't fired. I was terminated. The one I love is I
No, I was laid off.
I don't have a friend who ever says the word fired, and yet I say fired all the time. And I have a friend who's been fired 3 or 4 times, and I'll say, "Hey, man, remember you got fired?" He goes, "I didn't get fired there. I quit."
I know who you're talking about.
But it's embarrassing. It's like I don't know. Don't say his name.
I won't, but what's really funny is he's a big deal.
He is a big deal.
He's
So
a huge deal, and for a big deal like that, to be worried about some stupid job he got fired from.
he didn't get fired. He
Well,
quit.
my point is this: if you
He
were
might
making
be listening. We might
Harder-
still need him at some point.
heart of gold, that guy.
You know when we might need him?
January.
December 31st, 2009. We might need him. Paul
I'll be up all night. It'll be January.
Paul of Michigan. It's the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover. Yes, sir, Paul. How are you?
Hey, Jay, fine. This is Paul from Michigan. I just want to let you know that I want you to tell Rodney.
You can tell me directly.
Tell him directly.
You are so full of shit with this trickle-down shit.
Hold on a
That
minute.
is-
Garrett, now,
that is-
hold it.
Yeah, that you gotta pause.
You gotta
dude.
pause.
You gotta pause.
Paul, I want you to do everything
Do
you
it
feel
again.
about Rodney, and then you pause. Go
And
ahead.
pause.
Well, he's full of shit is what he is.
Yeah, you gotta pause. Okay, yes. Now, why do you say he's full of shit, Paul of Michigan? You sound like a hard-working person from Michigan.
I am an independent, conservative voter. I've been all my life. 73 years old, damn proud of it.
Right.
But
You live. How long you lived in Michigan?
I've lived in Michigan for 73 years. It used
Well,
to-
that's
Wait a
there's Democratic policies right. I mean,
There's a
right in
lot
front of your
them that-
face.
there's a lot of them that I don't like.
Why
Yeah,
are you...
but
why-
Michigan is a prime example of how it doesn't work. Why would you say I'm full of shit?
Because Reagan proved that trickle down does not work. It doesn't.
You mean the 90s were no fun? That was trickle down.
No.
Hey, Paul, do you remember the hot urine that trickled down in our heads from Reagan?
Well, if you just listen to me,
The
and
hot
shut
piss.
up for a minute.
I'm your friend, and you're telling me to shut up?
Well, when
.com.
Reagan when Reagan cut the taxes in the 80s, George Senior was running on he'd never raise taxes. He had to raise the taxes. Bush did the same thing. He went and cut the taxes for the rich. I didn't get
You really
anything
believe
out of
that bullshit? I mean, you really believe it wasn't across the board tax cuts? I mean, come on, man. It was across the board. Yeah, some rich people got tax credits, some poor people got tax credits. It was across the board.
Can I
How
be-
how much more fair can you get?
Can I be honest, guys, with both of you?
I got a couple $100.
Well, good for you.
That's exactly right. Didn't
Go
get
buy
it?
a very small flat screen.
And the millionaires got
Little
hundreds
10-incher.
of thousands.
Now, listen, let's not talk about what the millionaires got, okay, Paul? Let's not talk about that.
You might
All right?
want to leave that in the 80s
You might want to
aside.
leave the millionaires, because I happen to be a millionaire back then. And
Jay got trickled all over.
I got trickled. In fact, Paul, I'd have pissed on you if
He
I'd
got
seen
doused.
you. I would have peed all over you, Paul. I'd have trickled on you. You'd have been feeling the hot urine going down your leg.
Shut up for a minute. I'm going to say one more thing.
All right, go ahead.
But pause when you do.
Okay, I'll pause. I'm going to say, I love your show. I've listened to it for years. I'm going to turn it off. If I want to hear a right-wing show, I can turn on Rush Whipballs any day of the week.
That was the best .com yet.
Now listen, Sean Kelly, give Paul something so he doesn't turn this show off.
Some salve.
Even though one of the most hated men in America.
Isn't that kind of socialist to do
Wait,
that?
no, Paul hung up. He's turned the show off. Way to go, Rodney.
Damn it.
Nice going.
Sorry.
Nice going. I don't mind him leaving. He's going to be dead soon.
You know
anyway.
what? I can't stand old people that complain.
Yes,
It's their voting records that fucked up this country.
Yeah. Hey, come
honestly.
on. Hey, Paul, you should have
I'm
said
sick
you
of
were,
it.
you should have said you were 53. I'd have been kinder to you, but
Yeah.
you know, hearing that you may go at any minute. Here is something that if I worked at Air America or if I worked at MSNBC, if I was a lesbian, and they had a
Hey, I like her, man. Don't be knocking her.
I do not like her.
I am
She is
strange.
kicking the shit out of people in the ratings.
Why?
She's doing great.
I
because
am-
that's-
she has a good
she's what
show.
people
I am
want.
sick of the crew cut lesbian.
Oh, you know what?
liberal. I hate them.
I'm
sick of them.
strangely attracted to her.
I know.
If she was heterosexual, I'd be all over
She
that.
has no interest in men, and when I look at her, I know
Doesn't
it.
matter.
Sick of it.
Doesn't matter.
Now, here's one that if we were on a liberal radio station, Rodney, you would have to work with me and be liberal. Listen to
I've
this.
done it before.
You
I'll
ready?
do it again.
The Republican National Committee has spent $150,000 to make Sarah Palin look as stylish as she's been looking. Okay? And it goes through this whole thing. And now this is in the Post. 50,000 at Saks Fifth Avenue in New York and St. Louis. 75,000 for this and that. As I looked at that, do you know that I think that's a regular, normal expense for someone running for something like the vice president? I don't think that's.
Well, they used to jump in Clinton's shit for getting those expensive haircuts, but it's like you're forgetting that this stylist had to probably travel, he had to go through security, get on a plane, da-da-da. It's not just for cutting the hair.
Sean, look at these shoes I have on. Look at them. Look at those shoes. Look at this outfit I have.
Sean, does he have a hat today?
No, he doesn't have a hat.
How about the metrosexual thing?
So
Does he
what
got
are
that
those,
going?
$600 shoes?
I don't know what they are, Sean.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what they are.
What dead animal are
Hey,
they
Sean,
made of?
you know what? Don't force me to trickle down on you, okay? All right? By the way, they're not made of dead animal. They're made of naugahyde.
They're made of an old canvas tent.
Let's go to Brent of Tampa. The Devil Rays are in the World Series. Everybody,
It's the Jays.
What's that?
It's the Rays, Jay.
what, the Devil Rays.
Just the Rays.
Oh, it's just the Rays? Was it ever the Devil Rays?
Last year.
Oh, they're no longer the Devil Rays?
No.
I'm sorry.
You know why?
Why?
Satan.
You're an idiot. You had nothing to say. I paused. You had nothing to say.
I was waiting for the .com.
No, you weren't. Brent, go ahead. Are you excited down there? My, oh my, you almost got beat by those Red Sox. You must have been just biting.
Oh, that must have been terrifying.
Oh, it'd be horrible. Go ahead, Brent.
Oh my God, it was awful. Being ahead 7 points to nothing, and then having them come back.
You
They don't really say points
No,
in
you
baseball,
don't say
do they?
points in baseball.
You must be a big fan.
Yeah, you don't say points.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Yeah, and they won the last game by how many goals?
I'm sorry, but I just wanted to.
What period did they win it in?
Rodney.
I don't know.
Were they in the red zone at all?
Yeah, go ahead, Brent.
I just wanted to tell Rodney that how sorry I am for his precious Cubs not being in the World Series.
Thank you. It sounds a little sarcastic, though.
Just a little.
You don't sound very. You don't sound very sincere, my friend. You know what? You guys got the nicest stadium. God, I love that place, and I love St. Petersburg. It's fucking great.
It used to be terrible. I did dinner theater there, and it was terrible. It was like just old people and stuff. I went back to look at a school there, Eckerd College.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I
What's he gonna go there?
No, my son has decided not to go to college.
That bum.
Well, good.
Yeah, my son.
It's a waste of time
My son has decided
for
to be,
for the son of a rich guy.
My
Let's
son-
have some fun.
my son who's got a average and everything else. My son has decided to be a blacksmith. And we're sending. I'm not kidding. We're sending.
That's fucking great. He's gonna make guns and stuff.
Yes, he is.
I knew it.
We are sending him to blacksmith school, and
Where is that? Somewhere in New England?
there's one in Pittsburgh, and it's a gunsmithing school also, and there's one outside of Denver, Colorado, and it's a trade school. But
Have you ever seen people make rifles and shotguns by hand? It is really fascinating.
he makes them in our garage out of all sorts
Does he
of
do the
tubing.
thing where is it when it kind of goes in concentric circles through the barrel? What is that called? Where
It's
it makes
called the
bullet-
rifling.
Rifling, yes. It makes the bullet spin and everything. That stuff is great.
Well, he knows, and he also said to me, Dad, if it was smooth or something, the bullet wouldn't go right or whatever. But we were given an old World War II jungle carbine, and he put the bolt in it. I'm not kidding you.
You know what, Jay? I can't wait for his first kill. Honestly.
You know what I'm hoping?
We're gonna have a little party.
Is there a bell tower in Pittsburgh? Is there a bell tower? That's what I want. It's like,
I don't even-
Johnny,
is
we've
there-
got somebody in the bell tower, Bill. We got somebody love me! Someone love me! Apparently a boy from the gunsmithing school, a very rich boy from the gunsmithing school, is shooting everyone who got a tax cut. Everybody has a tax cut.
And look at those great rifles he's using.
Hey, Brent, what did you call to say that you're happy about the World Series? Did you win the first game? When's the World Series start?
It's tonight.
Oh, it'll be
It's
on
tonight.
XM.
And who are they
Sirius
playing?
satellite.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Philly.
Yeah!
Philly. All right. Hey, can you
Yeah.
beat Philly? What, did you beat them during the year?
Well, the odds are that the Rays are gonna take it, but
Did you play them during the year at all? Did you have some one-on-one?
I don't really know. I'm like a late.
So you're just doing it because
You're jumping on the bandwagon.
the
here.
team's in your town.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
I mean, when you say they were ahead by 7 points,
Yeah, we
I
knew
knew
right
you weren't
there.
a fan right there.
Yeah, that probably gave it away. But
All
That
right.
was in the third. That was in the third quarter too.
All
They
right.
had-
Okay.
But tickets on Craigslist are going for like $175 for the very top row. So
Really, get a topless maid instead. They're like $90.
All right. I don't know. You know what? That's so
Craigslist.
random. I didn't know it. All right. It's the Jay Thomas Show. Rodney Lee Conover's here, and it's Sirius Stars 102.
A Sirius special event. Tune to Channel 113 for the California Governor and First Ladies Conference on Women, hosted by Maria Shriver.
Everybody has the power and the capability to be a leader in their own life.
Hear inspiring stories from Michelle Obama, Bono, Condoleezza Rice, Jennifer Lopez, and many others.
Anyone tries to convince you that a woman can't do anything, remember the moment when you looked around this room.
The California Women's Conference.
We're part of something that's bigger than us.
Happening now, exclusively on Sirius Women's Conference Channel 113.
Oh man, we won! How was that?
Not bad, but try it more like, oh man, I can't believe it, we won! Like that.
Okay.
Start practicing your celebration now for Radio Shack's $500 for the holidays mobile giveaway. Then let us help you pick out the perfect mobile phone or accessory. Once you purchase, you'll be entered for a chance to win one of 100 Radio Shack gift cards, each worth $500. It's the perfect way to kickstart your holiday shopping.
Yeah!
No purchase necessary to enter or win. Is 11-108. Void where prohibited. Open to residents of the U.S., Puerto Rico, or the U.S. Virgin Islands. 18 or older. See store or RadioShack.com for rules and alternate form of entry.
Have you been putting off getting health insurance because you think it's too expensive or you don't qualify? Now is your chance to get the health coverage you want for a lot less than you thought. With the Synergy Health Preferred Insurance Plan, you can finally have health coverage for your everyday medical needs, including doctor visits, lab tests, x-rays, maternity, emergencies, and hospital stays. Our limited medical insurance plan even covers surgeries with no deductibles and no annual limits. Best of all, with Synergy Health Preferred, you can choose your own doctors and hospitals. And Synergy Health accepts applicants regardless of most pre-existing medical conditions. Enroll today by calling 1-800-209-9589. Don't put off your health for another day. For individual and family coverage, call 1-800-209-9589. That's 1-800-209-9589. For costs and further details of the coverage, including exclusions, limitations, and the terms under which the policy may be continued in force, call Synergy Health. This plan is offered through an association membership, not available in all states.
Move up to Trans Am Trucking, a long-haul trucking leader with a reputation of service, professionalism, and reliability. Trans Am has new opportunities for experienced OTR company drivers and student graduates of certified schools. Plus, Trans Am has the best lease purchase program in the industry, an outstanding owner-operator program, and Trans Am now pays practical miles. This means more money in your pocket. Trans Am offers one of the industry's best benefit packages. Get home time, get paid, get respect. Call Trans Am at 800-370-9609 or visit transamtruck.com.
Hey, this opens our 70s show, the Jay Thomas 70s shows over at Sirius 7 Totally 70s on Saturday morning from 8 until noon. Jay Thomas Saturday 70s Spectacular. Oh, yeah, Lou Pellegrino is, he gets here like at 8 in the morning and leaves at midnight. I mean, the loneliest man I know.
Yeah, but he gets laid twice in that period.
He does. I don't know.
Wouldn't you be there all day if you're banging chicks in the restroom and shit?
If his penis has a big, like forehead on it, like a big.
Jealous.
I don't know, but he's got that big giant forehead.
You wish you had a giant forehead on your penis.
No, I don't.
You wish you just had anything you could say giant down there.
We were talking sports a few minutes ago, and in Stockholm, an ice hockey team began to heckle one of the players, Jan Huoko. They started throwing dildos. They had profane banners and a giant inflatable penis. They were taunting him because he is in a sex scandal. Now, Rodney, he tape recorded on his cell phone, or he recorded.
Yeah.
He and his girlfriend.
He was banging his girlfriend, and he held out his cell phone, video recorder, and got it on video.
And then he let people hear it on purpose?
No.
Oh.
He lost his cell phone.
What an idiot.
I know.
So
why the fuck would you do that?
It was a private. Does anyone do a Swedish accent? Dorty, 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 Dort. It was a private thing between me and my girlfriend. I guess I don't either. That's what people do when it comes to sex. We do private things. The fans had already littered the ice with dozens of dildos. Some were buzzing. They threw them with the batteries on them, causing a delay as crews cleared the sex toys. Normally, things that are thrown on the ice that have any value at all are given to the homeless. Not this time. They don't know what to do with them. Maybe homeless hookers will get them. That's unbelievable. So, have they done what? They used to throw what? Octopi on the ice where? In Detroit? For who? Who did they make fun of doing that?
The Red Wings.
But why?
Apparently it took 8 games to win the Stanley Cup back in the day. Now it takes 16, I think.
So the octopi with the 8 tentacles meant win the Stanley Cup?
One tentacle for each win.
Was it a real octopus? Like a?
Oh yeah, they throw real octopi in there. Yeah.
And then they'd have to clean up the slime before they can continue the skating?
Yeah, shovel them up.
You know what? Hockey, I think, is the only game, Rodney, that has to pay to be on television. Did you know that?
No.
They're the only sport that they don't make a deal, maybe in the local town. But for national hockey, the NHL, I think, has to pay to be on television. I mean, a guy like me, I have no interest in hockey, even though I made quite a living playing a hockey player on television. I don't understand it. It's like watching soccer to me, And then they hit each other, ram into each other, and the whole thing. Advocates for women in Juneau, Alaska want the Men's Crisis Center to stop having their sign on the Adopt a Highway litter program because they say that it's a social club and a humor organization that demeans women. Rodney, did you go to their website to look at any of the things that's on there? Did you? So they're making fun of women and they don't want anyone to clean the highway up anymore. So Rodney's still there? Hello? What happened? Oh, you know what? Some of the Democratic engineers are listening. Did we lose him? You know what?
Sorry about that. I had to tamp down some noise over there. I'm back.
Oh, you're back now.
It was really noisy. You wouldn't have liked it.
We're fine. Okay, good. We're back. All right, thank you. Yeah, you went to get a beer.
Hold on. It's Friday, right?
Yeah. No, it isn't Friday.
You almost said yes.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
You almost enabled me.
Anyway, the NOW, that's a good group of gals, too. Now, look, I love women. I just don't think... It's like when you mentioned that woman, Meadow Muffin. What's her name? Muffin Meadow? What's her name?
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, with her. Meadow Muffin.
Strangely attracted to her.
You know what? You're attracted to her because she looks like a guy.
No, I'm attracted to her because she's strong, but not a bitch. I love women that are really strong, but are reasonable and not bitches about it.
She has
That's
no
attractive.
interest in you at all.
Jay, I don't even
man.
know her. I don't know her. I'll never meet her. That's not relevant.
It is to me.
Oh.
Why?
Because you're going to go for it?
No.
Then what's the point? What has that got to do with it then?
I don't mind if you're bisexual.
How do you know what she is?
She's announced it.
She didn't. She said she wasn't bi.
No, she's straight on.
She said those words.
Straight on lesbian, has the partner. They've
now,
got the little.
So you're saying that if
around.
someone is a lesbian, that you cannot be attracted to them?
No. But I want to be.
So sex is everything. Talent and state of mind and intelligence means nothing.
Right.
You're one hell of a guy.
I am.
Say that.
No, I don't like to be in the room knowing that someone finds me physically unattractive.
Well, that's the whole point. Could she be attracted to somebody based on something other than sex?
No. What do you like, a girl?
You're nuts.
What do you like, a girl now?
I like a girl, sure.
What do you like?
There's never one around.
Hey, the next time we go out of town, don't try and cuddle with me, okay? I just don't like the fact that all of a sudden...
You come off as this big, enlightened liberal, and you're not. You're none of the above.
I'm a conservative Democrat. I'll tell you that.
Enlightened my ass.
Anyway.
And don't put down Now either. Let me tell you about
Wait
Now.
a minute. Now you're for them now?
No, let me tell you about Now and all other extremists.
They're against lipstick. Did you know that?
Especially on pigs.
That's right.
Extremist groups are the most important groups in America because without them, your rights are going to get taken away. End of story. And if you're pro-choice, Jay, you should be a big supporter of NOW.
Because they're the ones that did it?
No, they keep it. They keep it.
What about the gun nuts?
They keep the Second Amendment alive. That's a perfect example, Jay. Thank you.
So everybody else is in the middle, and it's the nuts on the left and the right.
You know what? If everyone was in the middle, you'd have no rights. You'd get run over. You'd be in the gulag.
We'd compromise.
Exactly.
I got you. Wow. I didn't think you'd say one thing today that impressed me, and I'll be damned if that doesn't impress me.
.com.
All right. The NOW chapter there says that they're trying to send a mixed message that this is just a boys' drinking school, and they don't. Now, this is about a sign on the Clean Up the Highway, the Adopt a Highway Litter program. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've actually seen people's names on it.
Yeah, there's one on the 101 out here, Bette Midler.
And Danny Bonaducci. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Yeah.
I'm not making a joke either.
Yeah, Danny Bonaducci.
It's the Bette Midler quarter mile of the Hollywood
and
freeway
there's
cleanup.
a Danny Bonaducci Adopt
In
a
fact,
Highway.
she stands on the side of the road there and waves at you.
Yeah, that's right.
She sings like a...
And so this is and what they do is when you go to their website, they say the best way to deal with a woman in a crisis is to take a drink. So they're all against.
Well, there's something to it.
Yeah, they call it alcohol therapy, and
that's what I do.
They instruct women to get back in there into the kitchen, and you know what, Sean? I want to get this guy on, find out what the deal is. Ron DeLacy. Okay, you go to a bar, you're at a men's crisis center. That's their motto. All right. No, you know what I mean. It's like that Rachel Maddow. She would be the one that wanted to stop that Adopt the Highway thing. I have to tell you. I don't know why.
I don't agree with much of what she says. I just say I like strong, opinionated women that aren't bitches, and that's her.
Here's a woman you're going to love. You ready?
Go.
Miss Teen Louisiana.
I already love her.
For 11 days has been Miss Teen Louisiana. She's 17 years old. She's going around the state. She's no longer Miss Teen Louisiana after 11 days.
What am I?
She left a restaurant without paying, and when they arrested her, she had marijuana in her purse.
Oh, God.
That's right.
She's on the ball, huh?
Her name, gotta get her name, Lindsay
Britney
Evans.
Spears.
No, Lindsay Evans. They had been told that 3 women with Evans told police that Evans, alone in the group, had paid her bill, but she didn't pay it, so they chased her. I don't know what the deal was. And then they found drug paraphernalia that was just pot, for Christ's sakes. And she skipped out on a $46 bill. The manager found her pocketbook on the table, found her driver's license, and then found 2 grams of marijuana. So he went through her purse. She was so loaded when she left. She's also now fit for the Louisiana congressional seat that's open. I don't know if you know that or not. She's able to run for Congress. Now, I escorted Little Miss Teen Louisiana once to a ball in Louisiana. And at that point, there was no smoking, no drinking, no nothing. None of that nonsense. Boy, if I'd only lived.
And they had you as an escort.
I was the escort. I went to military school. I had my own
That was chancy right there, don't you think?
I went ice skating in front of I never ice skated before, and all these people are eating their breakfast, and you could look over the ice skaters, Rodney, there in Washington, D.C. And so I start ice skating, and I see this girl, and I'm pretending I know how to ice skate. And I fall and split my head open, and some people vomited while they were having their breakfast. So that was the end of me escorting Little Miss Louisiana. It's the Jay Thomas Show. Stay where you are. If you've ever thrown a bottle of pee out of a window, our next guest wants you to stop it at Sirius Stars 102.
Normally I take my broom when I travel during the Halloween season due to all that mortal traffic. But this year it's broken. So I've turned my toad into a station wagon. Traffic is always an asshole. That's why when I do drive, I listen to Sirius First Traffic and Weather. They cover the 20 most congested cities in the country. Sirius First Traffic and Weather, channels 148 to 158. And remember, be mindful of all the little goblins and ghosts running about the streets. Sirius wants you to have a safe and happy Halloween. Drive on, Toad.
The best of XM on Sirius.
South pass, Garnett diving in, hangs in the air, throws it off the window and in.
This is NBA Commissioner David Stern. Last season was one of the most exciting and competitive seasons in our history. It was a year full of extraordinary NBA milestones, the coming out of our young stars, the miraculous turnaround of the Boston Celtics.
22 years, but the game's original monarchy has regained the throne.
Who captured the franchise's 17th NBA championship. As the 2008-2009 NBA season tips off later this month with the Best of XM on Sirius Radio, fans can listen to complete NBA action right here.
Add the Best of XM to your Sirius subscription and you'll get NBA games, all PGA Tour events, college sports, and more. The Best of XM is available now. Call 888-7-BEST-XM. That's 888-723-7896. Or go to Sirius.com. Available to U.S. subscribers only.
The premium radio coverage of the NBA, the Best of XM, is now available.
Open my inbox, please, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem, Hal?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
Your inbox is full of spam, Dave. I told you we needed Exchange hosting from AppRiver. Our email system is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it. I advise you switch to AppRiver's secure hosted Exchange right now, Dave.
We'll contact our computer consultants and have them switch us over to AppRiver immediately, Hal.
AppRiver, unlimited storage, premium spam and virus protection, and the only optimized network for your mobile devices.
Dave, it seems that strange beings are watching over us now.
Those are just the nerds from AppRiver, Hal.
That's messaging experts.
Get your free 30-day trial of AppRiver's secured host exchange at appriver.com. That's APPriver.com.
The Jay Thomas Show on the Sirius Stars channel.
You know how you cool off an octopi?
How?
Put it on a windowsill.
Sirius 102. 888-4102-102.
Shot down on the road. He said, lend a helping hand. Got a smile on his face.
The Jay Thomas Show, a joke for every occasion. I didn't even know we had an octopi joke in the joke. What do you call that thing? The joke prophet. Sure, the joke prophet. Hey, go to jthomas.com. Obama the commie shirts. Get off my lawns with John McCain. The Pilf with Sarah Palin. Also, you can email us, jthomas.com, and you can also see the emails that others have sent us. Sean, do you have the one on there, the complaint email? You even put the bad ones on there, Sean? I don't want just the good ones, okay? I want the bad ones.
Sure.
Don't we have one recently where it was like a big complaint. They threatened to never listen to the show again, and it was a guest. He said that we made fun of him, and
oh yeah, that one. I'll look around, see if I can find
put the bad ones on there too.
Yeah,
I want the good with the bad. Don't just put the ones where they love me. And
fair and balanced, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because it's more fun to read the complaint ones. I certainly hope it doesn't turn bad for Karen Grunt and me. Karen, it's Jay Thomas. How are you?
Yes, hello.
How are you, Karen? Is that your last name, Grunt?
Yes. It's German. It means ground.
Ground. Now, Rodney Lee Conover is here. Rodney, what is your original last name? Coven?
Cohenhoven. But my middle name is Turd, which is really weird.
Rodney Turd Cohenhoven. Those are unusual names, aren't they, Karen?
We have Lou Grunt on today.
We have Miss Grunt on.
Later.
We have a man with Turd in the middle of his name.
But what can you do if you marry into somebody that has this name? So anyhow,
horrible. That's what I would do. I wouldn't have that name.
I'd be the runaway bride.
That'd be like your last name could be Shite. That would be an awful name.
That's right. But I didn't run away because it was the right guy.
You're with Mr. Grunt.
He overcame that.
Yeah. Now,
yes.
We've heard this before. We have, and I'm going to tell you this right now, Karen. We have millions of truckers who listen to Sirius Satellite, and that's why you're here. Millions. Not 100,000. I'm telling you, millions.
Okay. Well, there is this little lady in northern Ontario who cleans up every spring when the snow is gone. I clean up highways in order to make this a little bit more, what should I say, clean looking, and it's a welcome mat. 15 kilometers around on our Trans-Canada Highway. We live in a beautiful area. And I was always upset about the litter and the garbage that we find. And in the last, I would say, I cannot pinpoint it, but 5 years we found more and more bottles filled with urine, and that I find is so insulting. So why can't you truckers be so kind and keep it in your cab and get rid of when you come to a gas station, they have garbage bins, or when you get home. Why does it have to be in our outdoors? We have this.
So what's the area that they seem to be throwing these bottles of pee in? What's this specific beautiful area?
Well, we live on Lake Superior, which is gorgeous, and of course there is not too many truck stops or gas stations. We have hundreds of kilometers without any.
You pick up the bottle with your hand and.
Well, I have gloves on. I wear gloves
on. Do you pour the pee out first?
No, I'm not going to tinker with them.
You're not going to tinker with the TT. Is that what you're saying? Right.
No.
Now, we have a lot. Do you mind if we have truckers call and tell us why in the hell they do something like this?
Well, let me just explain. I know why they do it, because you have to go to the bathroom once in a while.
No, why they throw it out?
Why they throw it out. That's a good question.
My God.
Yes.
My God.
Well,
and the other thing is, you're a man. You're not a man.
No.
Whenever I've been on a trip and I'm caught in traffic and I have to pee, I'll only have like a little, water bottle, right?
Yeah.
Thank God I have a very narrow penis, Mrs. Grunt. But Mrs. Grunt, I don't have you as a guest on this show to begin laughing at my anatomical problem.
Well, you admit it. Anyhow.
All right, you know what, Mrs. Grunt? Here's what we're going to do. Rodney, you know what's going to happen here, don't you?
I use a Mickey's Big Mouth.
Yeah, okay. Now, wait a second now. Mrs. Grunt, we're going to let you relax for about 90 seconds.
Yes.
And when I come back, the next time I say anything about any part of my body, if I hear laughter, this interview is over.
No. I won't.
All right.
Okay.
And I want the truckers to call us at 888-4-102-102. Here is this lovely woman, Karen Grunt, and she has to go out 15 kilometers. You're ruining her neighborhood. You're also, and by the way, Rodney
you're making her giggle too, which I don't really.
And that'll
like.
make you pee, won't it, Mrs. Grunt? You'll start peeing if you're not crazy. Here's the deal.
Where do
Rodney
you throw your pee, ma'am?
We'll find out all of that in a couple of minutes. We are going to have some ideas for you, Mrs. Grunt, so
really?
that you can fight back, whether they stop doing it or not,
and possibly profit.
Yes, that's right. And Rodney Lee Conover has worked on these ideas all night long, and we've been waiting for you. And I dare you, truckers, I dare you to throw pee at Mrs. Grunt after this is over at Sirius Stars 102. I dare you.
America is the greatest force for good in the history of the world.
Senator McCain and I do agree. This is the greatest nation on earth.
You've heard the candidates battle and fight their way through the debates.
Senator Obama has never taken on the leaders of his party on a single issue.
Senator McCain voted for 4 out of 5 of those George Bush budgets.
They've had their time. Now it's yours. Join us on the road to the White House. Patriot 144, Left 146, and Indie Talk Sirius 110. Politics from every point of view. Only on Sirius.
Hi, this is Michelle McCoy, and I've lost 24 pounds in 3 months taking Calogel, and we've got so many other success stories.
Absolutely. I talked with Bill this morning. He is down 32 pounds in 3 months with taking Calogel. This product is so simple. Our average loss is 2 to 3 dress or pant sizes in a 3-month program, and right now is the time to call. We are offering nearly $100 off our original cost of 4 packs. This is a limited time special. If you want a great way to lose weight and an easy way, call now. 888-858-SLIM. That's SLIM. This fantastic special is again limited time. Nearly $100 off 4 packs. Call now. 888-858-SLIM or visit our website at justbeforebed.com.
Don't miss this limited time offer. $100 off 4 packs of Calogel. Call now. 888-858-SLIM. 888-858-SLIM.
Would you walk around with your credit card number displayed on your back for anyone to read? Of course not. But if you have one of the 50 million new contactless credit and debit cards in circulation in your wallet, that's exactly what you're doing. I'm Walt Augustinowitz, founder of Identity Stronghold, and we think this is information you need to know. You may not even realize you already have one of these cards because they look physically just like the old card. The difference is an RFID chip hidden inside the card that makes radio communication with the card possible right through your wallet, purse, or pants pocket without you ever removing the card. Pickpockets no longer even have to touch you to get your information. Our company realizes the privacy danger this represents, and that's why we manufacture the Secure Sleeve. The Secure Sleeve is a patent-pending card sleeve that contains a radio frequency barrier, preventing radio signals from reaching your card. You can get more information and purchase the Secure Sleeve online at idstronghold.com. That's idstronghold.com, or call us at 800-610-2770.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go.
The late Jerry Reed.
Yeah. From Louisiana, the late, great Jerry Reed. Hi, the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover. And Karen Grunt, we're in the middle of talking this lovely lady, talking about, what do you call them, piss bombs, throwing the piss bombs. After the Jay Thomas Show at 6 o'clock, go over to Raw Dog 104, and Cheech and Chong join the Wise Guys. They are going to be being roasted on Spike, and Cheech and Chong have been on this show a couple of times, but never together. So we've never had them on together, and that's fine with me. That's fine.
Far out, man.
Yeah. Raw Dog 104 tonight. And by the way, people keep going, what's going on with XM and Sirius Satellite? Well, Pioneer introduces the wearable XPM3 satellite radio. Record what you love and listen to it when you want. Find out all about it by going to Sirius, of course, .com, right, Sean? Or I guess you go to XMRadio.com and find out, ask about the XMP3 satellite radio. We didn't just, get together and then nothing's happening. You're you're picking and choosing already. Let's go back to Karen Grunt. Karen, welcome back. The phone's lit up. Now, Ms. Grunt, how many years have you been picking up the...
16 years.
Oh, my God.
Now, listen, they call me the garbologist because,
Because they don't call you the urologist.
I hope not, no. That was created later, the pee bottles, because we separated them because we found so many, right?
Are there ever Gatorade bottles? You ever find a Gatorade bottle?
Yeah.
Did you ever, on a hot day, screw up and take a big swig because you thought it was Gatorade?
No. But then we have these load check areas along the highway, and I call them the unload check areas because people leave their bigger bottles there.
Wow, how bad do these guys got to pee?
No, wait a minute.
These large?
I need to go back to something. You're saying that it's increased.
Yes.
So you're saying that, let's say, 5 years ago, it was less than it is now.
Well, we didn't pay much attention. One of my helpers said, I was wondering why people throw away all this apple juice until a light went on.
Mrs. Grunt, when you say one of your helpers, did they talk like they, why they throw away the apple juice? Is it someone like that? Well, you have kind of a kooky I wasn't good in school. Why did they throw away that apple juice?
Well, we found out it was not apple juice.
No.
Because there was a bottle of Coke, and it looked amber, right?
Yes.
It looked yellow.
Did you have your assistant take a whiff of it?
No.
All right. Let's go to Richard of Birmingham. God, we're glad to hear Richard back. Good Lord. People have been emailing us wondering what the hell happened to you, Richard. You're okay, aren't you? You're doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Hey, tell Garrett, NASCAR.
Oh, NASCAR's on hold. All right, we'll call him up. So, Richard, poor Miss, say hello to Karen. Is it Karen or Karine? How do you say it?
You can say Karine.
Karine.
But you can call me anything, so...
Mrs. Grunt?
Yes.
All right, Mrs. Grunt. Now, Richard, do you ever fill a bottle up with pee?
No, I'm a female.
No, not you. I'm talking to Richard.
Oh.
Yeah.
The caller, yeah.
That's right. You're a female. What would a female do? Just fill paper towels up? You just
sit on a sponge?
Sit on yeah.
Female goes in the bush.
I'll leave that one alone.
And we have lots of bush here. So.
Leave that one alone. It's a mess down there, apparently.
No,
Mrs. Grunt, as you know, this is a family show.
Yes.
And we'd rather not
decorum prevents us from speaking
not
further
to have
on
that
subject.
we don't want that kind of talk.
Yeah, we keep a civil tongue in your...
We had a 73-year-old listener until about 20 minutes ago. He quit listening to the show.
Okay.
All right, Richard, have you ever peed in a... you know what, Rodney? Do you feel that Richard even has the need?
Why does he need a bottle? Why don't you just hang it out,
Yeah.
You really don't, Rodney, and everybody, because there's plenty of public restrooms. You got plenty of Walmart. You got plenty of rest stop. There's no excuse for that bullshit to go on today.
That's right.
Ma'am, I certainly would like to apologize for on behalf of all American truck drivers because you're doing something that's really special. You're not just putting a voice to it. You're just taking action to it. And we're sorry you have to be subjected to that type of behavior of a few asshole drivers.
Now, Karine, Mrs. Grunt, even though he used some pretty salty language there, did you ever date a fisherman in your area?
No.
That's what fishermen talk like, by the way. That's fisherman talk.
Okay.
Seafarer talk. Now, he is apologizing for all truckers. Can you imagine that?
Oh, that's great.
That's unbelievable.
Most of us don't do that kind of stuff, man. Most of us got home training.
Right.
I'm quite sure you had mothers who told you don't litter and don't throw your trash around. So why don't you remember those words and keep it in your cab? I guess the truckers sleep and eat and drink in cabs, so why can't the manufacturers not have something for their pee or for their other stuff like a garbage
Do you ever find a little baggie of poo poo every now and again?
Yes, we do too. Yes.
You find a baggie of.
It's getting more disgusting all the time. So, I mean, please, people, smarten up.
You ever find a bag of vomit?
Well, I don't examine every bag, but
asking her. Will you stop asking all these foreign questions, man? I mean,
You ever find a bag of money?
No, unfortunately not.
Guys throw money out there?
Some people do, yeah.
Now, keep Richard
Bill.
on the line, because I have a funny feeling, Richard, that not every trucker is going to have the same response that you have had. Let's go to Zach of Alabama. Zach, the Jay Thomas Show. We've just had an apology from Richard, but Richard is a very kind man. After years of drug abuse and alcoholism and leaving his family and everything else, he's found God and everything else. So he's a changed man anyway. So I think 5 or 6 years ago he'd have told Mrs. Grunt to go straight to hell with urine in her lap, okay? Now he's a wonderful man. Do you know any ex-alcoholics, Ms. Grunt?
Yeah, a few, yes.
They become very kind when they're no longer drinking. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
And there are sons of bitches prior to that, though, aren't they?
Don't let her shit you, ma'am. Jay's full of shit, okay?
All right, now.
In a bag.
By the way, Mrs. Grunt, did you have any idea that even though the ones that don't pee in a bag are still kind of unsavory characters?
I don't know.
They're very unsavory. Very, very semen-like. Zach of Alabama. Yes, sir. What do you want to add to this piss bomb controversy?
Jay?
Yes, sir.
You can have a female. You see, my wife, he's in the styrofoam cups, and I chuck them on like windshields and whatnot, and they explode, and then you ain't got to pick them up. And furthermore, I'd like to de-apologize for like 40% of truckers.
De-apologize.
He wants
I've never heard that.
De-apologize.
I've
I
never
don't
heard
want
that.
anyone apologizing for me. And then I never did get my J. Thomas fun pack in the mail like I was supposed to.
Well, we have a fun pack. Mrs. Grunt is going to be sending us some of those pee
Okay.
bottles that we're going to turn into fun packs.
You're going to get a special FedEx.
By the way,
I never got my glossy picture, Jay. Never came.
all right, you know what? Stay on hold, Zach.
You're going to get a urine-soaked J. Thomas T-shirt.
Or Zach, email me at jthomas.com. I'll get you a picture, whatever you need, okay?
Hey, Jay, can I ask the lady something?
Yes, go ahead, Richard.
Hey, ma'am, what's your name again, ma'am? Ma'am.
It's Mrs. Grunt.
Yes, you
Yes,
can
Mrs.
take care.
Grunt.
What can I do for you?
Yes, what are you wearing right now, Mrs. Grunt?
Oh my God, Mrs. Grunt.
This is a family show.
This is
Mrs.
just
Grunt.
denigrated.
Mrs. Grunt.
Oh, my God.
It just goes to show you that even though
He's masquerading as a
he does
gentleman.
not throw pee in the road, there's so many other things wrong with this man, Mrs. Grunt. Let's go to Craig of Detroit.
Flowered or one color? Are they flowered or one color?
I want you to stop this right now. Craig of Detroit, the Jay Thomas Show. Karine Grunt is with us. Now you're in Canada, but this happens all over the United States also, Mrs. Grunt. Yes, Craig, go ahead. Go ahead, Craig.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Turn your radio down, Craig. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, I shut it right out there.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I actually wait until I cross into Canada before I chuck my fist bombs out the window.
We don't mind about that at all.
We regard Michigan, Canada, you know, they're much cleaner when they clean up the roads over there. They're more thorough.
Yes.
And the lazy bastards in Michigan will leave them there all summer, you know. They just kind of fester and explode on their own.
Mrs. Grunt, some of the Americans wait until they cross into Canada.
That's disgusting.
It's such a clean country. They know you're going to pick it up.
Well, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
We are volunteers. We are not being paid, and we are not prisoners, you know, that have to do that. I'm
Have you ever been arrested, Mrs. Grunt?
No.
Never? Come on. I didn't say convicted. I said arrested.
No. I'm
Ever done anything you should have been arrested for?
No.
She's kind of a complainer.
But I just want to make, I want you to understand that we are volunteers and we want to keep it clean here and invite tourists, fishermen, hunters, and so on. But with all this garbage, I mean, that's embarrassing. So please respect our area.
You're up there in Canada. You only see it 3 months of the year. The other 9 months are under snow. I mean, you're kind of a pessimist when it comes to trashing the side of roads, aren't you?
He's saying that you only see it for a few months and then the snow covers it. It's unbelievable. You know something, Craig?
But you see the yellow snow.
It is not biodegradable, for heaven's sake.
My God, no.
And plastic can be recycled. I mean, we recycle our water bottles and whatever plastics we have here.
Everything eventually gets recycled.
They should drink their pee, shouldn't they,
wait a
instead
minute.
of throwing it out.
How about the DNA bank, and then we catch these guys? That would be
We have a plan
she's
for
ahead
that.
of us.
You're ahead of us, my lady. You're ahead of us. Now listen to this. Have you ever had that wine that comes in a box, that white wine in a box, Mrs. Grunt?
Could be.
You know, instead of buying it in a bottle, you buy it in like a kind of a milk carton box. It tastes just like urine. Don't ever buy that.
No, I have no intention.
All right.
Any bottle with a kangaroo on it. That goes
Dave
for that, too.
of North Carolina at 888-410-2102. Could you explain, Dave, why you think Mrs. Grunt is seeing more pee now, more bottles of it, than she used to see? What do you think the reason is, Dave?
I think it has to do with NASCAR and burning up all their fuel on the 500-mile races. And my favorite driver, Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
What an idiot.
You know, we're on Sirius. I mean, it's not even, it's like not a joke.
That doesn't mean anything.
Listen, I have a question. Is it not dangerous to pee while you're driving? I mean,
Jay of California, is it not dangerous to pee while you're driving? Have you ever swerved while you had your penis in a what? What sort of a bottle do you use, Jay?
All over your thigh.
Hey, Jay, never invite me for a sleepover in the cab of your truck, all right?
Hey, Jay.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm not a trucker, but I just recently moved from Florida to California, and we made the cross-country drive. And about the time we got to Mississippi, we had the kids start counting these things. And when we got to California, they counted 32.
You're a fun dad. I'll say that. Hey, kids, which it'll be? Sleep at the Howard Johnsons or count peed bottles?
That's disgusting.
It's horrible, Mrs. Grunt. It's disgusting.
I was wondering if there's any truth to the fact that I read that if you fill up a milk carton with piss and they get bloated in the sun, and when these people go by to pick them up, if they agitate them a little bit, they actually explode on the people that are picking them up.
Mrs. Grunt, have you ever picked up a milk carton full of urine and it blew up on you or your assistant? No, it did not.
No.
Now, Richard of Alabama, I know you're apologizing. When did you stop peeing in your truck, in your van?
I never did it. I never did it, Jay, because I found the whole habit just very, very distasteful.
I see.
Nasty, man. It's unsanitary.
You know any truckers that have a, you know what? You guys have everything in these trucks. Why wouldn't you have a tube that runs from right under your seat and it would just kind of spill out onto the ground? No one would even notice it.
Oh, God.
Mrs. Grunt, please. We're trying to help you here, and you're,
No,
they do. But those drivers work for Swift, and they're all Middle Eastern guys. What they call them, rackheads.
Yeah. So the Middle Eastern guys pee directly onto the road.
I heard that.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of them driving in the truck. They don't have to slow the truck down.
Right.
Can I ask Ms. Grunt one more question?
Yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, tell me, I hear the way you're talking. Can you open your mouth really wide?
All right, we're not going to have any more questioning like that. Mrs. Grunt, I apologize.
You're not taking it seriously.
As you can tell, Mrs. Grunt, this is an unsavory group of individuals. This entire trucking industry is an
so.
Yes, I do too. Now, Rodney, you've thought about this long and hard, and you promised you would come up with an idea for Mrs. Grunt. What is your idea catching these piss bomb perpetrators?
Well, I think that Mrs. Grunt alluded to it already, so she may have already thought of this.
Yeah.
That's getting the license plate of a guy throwing a bottle out, then grab the urine, get it tested, and if you find amphetamines or some sort of drugs in the urine, you get him fired.
There you go.
Well, I have a better idea. The moment they get...
Of course you do.
they get their trucker's license, they should give a DNA sample, right? In case of accidents and identification, I think it makes sense. But then, when we find these bottles, we can create work by...
Oh, it's like a CSI thing.
Yeah, right. And
Gary Sinise on it.
Once we catch those guys, they have to pay a fine of $1,000.
All right, hold on. When we come back, we'll have a name for our new show that's based on urine samples. It's the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover, Kareen Grunt, Richard, the truck driver, at Sirius Stars 102. Yeah, I feel like Chocolate Myers.
The ultimate concert party is on Sirius. Jimmy Buffett Live. On Radio Margaritaville.
This party is not done yet. All right.
And the concert comes to you commercial-free and uninterrupted. This Saturday night, it's the final night on the Year of Still Here tour, all without leaving your Sirius radio. The pre-concert tailgate party starts at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by Jimmy Buffett live on stage, exclusively on Sirius 31 Radio Margaritaville.
What are your meetings costing you? Well, let's do the math. You wake up early, spend an hour getting dressed up, grab a quick bite of some awful fast food, and drive 2 hours each way in traffic just for a 1-hour meeting? Time is money, people. Add it all up, and you need GoToMeeting, the most affordable, easy-to-use web conferencing service available. With GoToMeeting, you can present, demonstrate products, train, or collaborate on documents right from your desk. All you need is a PC and an internet connection. Launch your meeting on the fly or schedule it in advance. No more wasted time on the road. Travel less and still exceed your sales goals. Close deals faster because you don't have to travel to get to important meetings. Best of all, you can hold unlimited meetings for one low flat rate. Save time, save money with GoToMeeting. Sirius subscribers can try GoToMeeting free for 30 days. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free button, and use promo code SIRIUS. That's GoToMeeting.com, promo code SIRIUS for this free GoToMeeting offer. GoToMeeting. Online meetings made easy.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called
Joel Clark,
one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents.
Hi, Mr. Tullis.
Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. Now, we'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a 40-year-old man on blood pressure medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, $20 a month.
Thanks, Joel. See how affordable term life insurance can be for you. Call 1-800-996-9654. That's 1-800-996-9654. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Select Quote. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health and other factors. Not available in all states.
Travel along, there's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore, where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate to break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long. If you're going my
What's this, like the country version of this song?
Sirius Stars 102, yes.
It's a newer version.
Newer, who sings it?
Rascal Flatts.
Oh, yeah, they're huge. They're huge. Hi, the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102. Don't forget the World Series. Used to just be on XM. Now it's on XM Sirius, and we got it. And Karine Grunt is with us. We call her the pee bottle lady from Canada. And she's been picking these pee bottles up. Now, when the truckers have really dark pee, do you ever notice the difference between a darker pee or a lighter pee? I can tell you what that is. Do you know what it is?
No, what is it?
It's the amount of water that they drink. You know, your pee should be kind of clear. So when you have really dark pee, the thing you can think about is that trucker will be dead soon, okay?
Uh-huh.
So that's good for you. Now, Rodney, she said she wanted to do the DNA and all. Did you like that idea, the DNA? And it would be kind of a new show, like crime scene investigation.
Yeah, we could be PSI.
PSI.
That's very fitting.
And you know, Jay, you could star.
PSI. And I would go out every week and get a bottle of pee and find the errant trucker.
You did track the trucker down.
Thank you very much. Terry of Ohio, the Jay Thomas Show with the pee lady from the piss bomb lady from Canada. Yeah, Terry, go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to apologize for all those Canadian truck drivers, because obviously they're all needle-decked. If you can piss in a pop bottle, you must have a little dink. I mean, think about it. How big a dink does a guy have if he can put it into a pop bottle?
He's calling it a needle dink, by the way, Mrs. Grunt. We've told him to stop using the horrible language. What sort of bottles do you normally find, Mrs. Grunt?
Anything. Water bottles, Coke.
How do you pee in a Coke bottle in a giant truck going 70 miles an hour?
That's what I asked you.
They're needle dicks.
They're needle dicks. Okay, Terry, we heard you. Oh, my God.
Hey, Jay?
Yes, sir. Richard.
Can I ask Ms. Grunt one last question, please?
Oh,
my
Jesus. God. Richard?
What?
Yeah, Ms. Grunt, let me ask you something. The last time you were penetrated anally...
Oh, my
That's done. That's done.
All right,
I've
done.
had enough.
All right, get him off the air. Get him off the air. Play.com. Let's soften it. Soften it. Mrs. Grunt.
Yes.
We flipped to another channel there for about 20 seconds. We're back now.
This may be one of the most vicious groups of individuals I've ever had the displeasure to entertain. It's almost like being in a prison, isn't it, Mrs. Grunt? The way that they treat the roadways.
We're like Johnny Cash.
And women.
Folsom.
And the entertainers that try and entertain them, Mrs. Grunt.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's frustrating, but...
It's unbelievable. And here we're trying to do some good, and look what's happened. Let's go to MD. He's in Nebraska. Yes, MD, the Jay Thomas Show. You truck alone, or you have a partner there? Who do you drive around with, MD?
We are household movers.
What do you use, a tube?
Now, what do you do when you have to go? What do you
use, a tube?
Yeah.
Tubes?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You know how when you put oil into your engine, you use one of those spouts? It's one of those spouts. You know what I mean? You pour the oil, it goes into the engine. Is that what you use when you pee?
You mean a funnel?
Yeah, funnel. A funnel or a hose?
Oh, man, you made me
My cell phone must be breaking up. I missed half of that. But
That's okay. What's your question?
What's your question, MD?
It's not a question. The reason there's so many pee bottles, my husband are on the road more than we're home, is because these truck drivers are so fat and lazy. They pull up to the front door of the truck stop. They block everything. It takes them 2 hours to climb out. That's why they dump them, because they're too fat to walk into the a facility and use the restroom or dump their bottles in the garbage.
It takes them 2 hours to get out of the truck, just to get out of it.
Some of them are so huge, I bet they weigh 400 pounds. We've seen them pull into a rest area, jump in the back, use the bathroom, and throw it out the window and keep going.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They're freaking disgusting pigs.
I think she is right. You know, I know there is
MD, AMD, what are you wearing right now?
Well, I'm fully dressed.
You are?
And there's things that these drivers...
Hey, Richard, we're thinking about you back at the station.
Well, I'm not fat and I'm not disgusting. Neither is my husband. We move households, military households, so we...
Now, MD, now, Mrs. Grunt, hold on. I'm going to take this conversation in a different place. Mrs. Grunt, first of all, are you overweight or are you thin?
No, I'm very slim and fit.
Because you lift all these pee bottles all the time. I'm trying to look at the golden lining here, okay? Or the silver lining, whatever.
Yeah, you do get exercise.
You do. Now, MD, what do you and your husband do so that you aren't these big, fat, disgusting 400-pound piss bomb truckers? What do you do to stop this?
Well, we move households. We physically go
I know. You mean you move the stuff yourself?
Yes, we're household movers. They call us bed buggers.
Do you move pianos?
Yes.
You're a head bugger. You said head bugger?
Could you come over here Thursday?
What did you say? Head bugger? What do you call yourself? A what?
No,
bed bugger.
Other drivers call us bed buggers.
They don't even like you people, do you?
No, they don't.
Why don't they like you? I don't quite understand. Why would they dislike you?
Household movers or bed buggers we make more money than the freight haulers.
Because you get out of the truck and you do something once you get, and these truckers do they take anything out of the truck?
No, most of the freight haulers back into a dock. A forklift comes in, unloads their shipment. They do nothing, where we physically do all of the work.
Now, do you tell your husband what to do most of the time, MD?
Yes.
Oh, I can tell that. I can tell that.
I like that.
I like it too. MD, thank you very much. MD of Nebraska. Well, Karine, you have opened up an incredible, almost a porta-john of controversy today. We want everyone to know that we are totally against it here at Sirius Satellite, and we don't want you to throw your piss bottles out. Now, Ms. Grunt, is there a day you normally go out?
I do it in the spring, April, May.
Okay. What we'd like to do is, we've had this show, April, May. Okay. So, I was thinking, now that the snow is going to come soon, it's going to cover the piss bottle up. We're going to have you back on here in the spring. Yes, ma'am.
I give you a report whether it's less
I
or
want to
more.
find out. And what we'll do is we will continue the warning up until that time. Now, what area should they stop throwing the piss in? Is it in Is it Wawa? Is that where you live?
It's called Wawa. You should come and visit. It's beautiful.
Well, first of all, the where you live is named like it's after water. You know, you had to I had to Wawa when I was a little boy. I have to Wawa. That's true. What would you like, Scotch and Wawa? Remember those jokes?
No.
Remember that? How did you know your date was too young for a drink? She ordered Scotch and Wawa. You ever hear that joke?
No, Wawa is actually Indian name for
urine.
The geese that landed here in Wawa.
Yeah, I know, but that means urine to most people.
Yeah.
So you got the wrong name. Ronnie, when someone says to you, ooh, Wawa, what do you think?
I think I want my banky.
There you go. All right, Mrs. Grunt, thank you very much.
Well, can I give a message to the truckers?
Absolutely.
Nope. See you later.
No, that's not.
I think we've had enough of you, Mrs.
He doesn't run this show. He doesn't run this
I don't mind if they pee in a bottle, but please get rid of it when you come to a truck stop or put it in a garbage can so it does not be in our outdoors. This is ugly and disrespectful to the people that live here.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for all the litter, not only the bottles, right?
Can I tell you something else, Mrs.
Yes.
Grunt? If you save the pee in your truck and you drive to Hollywood, people will pay you good money to pour it on them, okay?
Oh, gee, why?
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
No.
Oh, yes, you do.
We'll have to get Richard back to answer that question.
We've got some sick people out in Hollywood. I live out there most of the time.
Good heavens.
They pay. One of them is Hugh Grant.
Pardon?
You know the actor Hugh Grant?
Yes.
He loves that. He goes behind a Vaughn shopping center.
He used to go by Hugh Grunt.
That's right. He was Hugh Grunt for a while.
Oh, that's terrible.
All right.
It really is.
Anyway, so we talk about it in the spring?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
You're coming back in the spring.
I will. I give you my report.
Okay, hold on.
When a young man's fancy turns to throwing pee
in a bottle. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Grunt.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. What a wonderful lady, Mrs.
I believe
Grunt.
she put up with that for so long.
Well, Richard had lost
I mean,
his mind.
that's.
What the hell was wrong with Richard?
I know, he starts talking about anal with her.
Oh, my God. What was that about? He was like, he hated her. Deep down inside, he hated her.
You bet. She represents everything that's evil to him.
Yes. You know, Donnie of Detroit, the Jay Thomas Show. Now, you know, look, I have peed in a bottle. I've never thrown it out of a window. Yes, sir.
This is Donnie. Why did you wait so long to talk to me?
Because I think you're answering your own question, Donnie.
Hey, Donnie, don't mail any anthrax to us, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be mailing any anthrax to us. You sound a little angry. I don't know why we waited so long. What did you want? What did you want to say? Go. I tell you what. Rodney will pretend he's Mrs. Grunt.
Fucking my sister.
He says he's tired of fucking his sister. You know, I am too, Donnie.
I was going to have you play Mrs. Grunt for a moment.
I know. I was looking forward to that.
Eduardo of Montreal.
Can
Eduardo?
I play Mrs. Grunt for Eduardo?
Yes, go ahead.
Eduardo,
hi.
I don't mind you peeing in a bottle, but don't throw it at me.
No, I never do that. You know what happens?
Don't splash me with your pee.
No, but most of the truck drivers are overweight and lazy. Me, I pee in the bottle, but what I do, I empty bottle, the big ones, and I bring some bleach. So at the end of the day, what I do, I mix it with water, and then release it on the floor. So that way it's not trashing the...
That is not. Eduardo, that is so nice. Are you into anal?
Come on. What is that? Who's talking now?
That's Mrs.
You
Grunt.
my leg or what?
No, that's Mrs. Grunt. Mrs. Grunt, what has happened to you, Mrs. Grunt?
That's it.
My God. Eduardo calls
I just want to... I want to reward men like Eduardo.
Have you ever bleached your own butt? Have you ever done that? Butt bleaching?
You know something?
What?
The reason why people, they release a lot of pee during the day, because truck driving like myself, we have to drink a lot of coffee. And that's one of the reasons.
But that's a diuretic. That should stop you from peeing.
No, diuretic means it makes you go.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Makes you feel like crazy, man. Makes you feel like crazy.
Stop drinking coffee. Take amphetamines like the rest of us.
Listen, I saw guys throwing bottle of pee through the window, and that's disgusting.
What do you mean? You mean they'll get mad at you and hum it, or just do it for fun?
But they do it because they're lazy. Because you have to remember, Jay, we have an appointment to make. So if I stop to take a pee, I'm gonna lose like 15 to half an hour.
Right.
So what I do is during the driving time, I pull down my pants, I pull down my underwear, and I pee and I drive at the same time.
You pull your pants down, and now you've got all sorts of gears going. You've got this big giant truck. You're driving with your pants down and trying to maneuver your. Why don't you wear something on your leg?
No.
John the sniper said when he was laying for days on end, Rodney, he learned after his first shooting he used to piss on himself.
The thing is, Jay, you have to drive in a safety way, in a dry way, doesn't have any curve or any.
You only pee on a straightaway.
You have to pee in a way like you don't need to give, or you have to move the steering wheel a lot. So that way it's going to take you a couple of minutes to do your business, and you're done. That's it.
Eduardo, where are you from originally?
I'm from Peru.
In Peru, do they have do they have these standards for peeing while driving? Is that where you got that?
I don't know, man. I left Peru in '77. No idea.
He didn't know the standards prior to leaving the area.
I thought maybe that came from Peru.
Eduardo, thank you for being so sensible and.
No, that's true, man. Because I'm a truck driver. I weigh 180, but the American drivers, man, those guys are huge.
Big fat guys.
Like elephants.
Yeah, big fat guys.
Yeah, big guys, man, big guys. So those guys, they have laziness and they don't know how to walk to the bathroom.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. All right.
Yeah, man, that's it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Rob of Barrie, Ontario. Have you ever thrown a piss bottle in the area that poor Mrs. Grunt? And please don't do it anymore, okay, Rob?
What's that, sorry?
I said, have you ever thrown a piss bomb in Wawa, Ontario, or Woo Woo, whatever the name of that place is?
Oh, good old Wawa. Nothing there but a bunch of old people and swamp donkeys and piss bottles, I guess.
What is a swamp donkey?
It's a moose.
I see. So I never heard
anyways,
that. Yeah.
From northern Ontario, from the Sioux to Nipigon, it's 500 miles, and there's only 2 spots you can stop.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shoulders, and then these load check areas she was talking about, good luck in trying to get in there. There's only room for 1 truck, and you got some fat bastard in there. He won't let you in.
So another fatso has stopped you. So now, can't you just keep the pee in the truck for a while? Or how about just pouring it out of the window, and slowing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I usually just piss in a Tim Hortons cup and then just toss that out the window, right? And throw the cup back in the garbage
bin. A Tim Hortons cup. You know what? It tastes just like their coffee, someone told me.
Well, I guess it all depends on where you're getting it, right?
All right. You know what an Arnold Palmer is, don't you, Rodney?
Oh, yeah.
That's
sure.
when a golfer pisses in your iced tea. Did you know that?
I know.
That's an Arnold Palmer. I don't need you, see, friend. I don't need you.
But down in the States, though, you guys, there's so many rest areas.
Yeah.
And so many truck stops. But northern Ontario, like I said, 500 miles, there's only 2 spots trucks can stop.
Why do you live in a godforsaken place like that?
Well, I spend most of my time in the States, so I'm all right.
Oh, I see. So you just go up there, visit, throw your pee, and you're on your way. That's good. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
I know the people at Tim Horton will be happy to hear that all over Canada. The Tim Horton guys. Hey, yes.
Gives her something to do.
It does
In the springtime, anyways, other than bitching all the time.
Yeah, that's right. She gives her something to do. Keeps her off the street. All right.
There you go.
The old grunter.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you so much, Rob. The Jay Thomas Show, 888-4-102-102. Mike of Nevada. Yes, Mike, how are you? Mike, did you hear Richard? Normally Richard comes on. He's a kind gentleman. Next thing you know, he was asking this woman about all sorts of various positions and her sex life. What do you think happened to that guy, Mike? What do you think?
I don't know. I was wondering that myself. He's backsliding a little bit.
Yeah, he's always a kind man, and I don't know what his anger. There's some anger there.
Well, what I believe it is he hasn't seen his girlfriend lately.
Exactly. It's the not getting laid deal. It's not getting laid.
That's right.
All right, Richard. Do you throw your pee out of the window? What do you do with it?
Well, no.
I mean, Mike of Nevada.
Yeah, my wife and I run team, and there are times when I'm in bed back there, and I do have to use a bottle. But I try and find grass or a tree that I can water when we're parked somewhere.
You're such a wonderful, wonderful man.
Yes, and I only weigh 180, so.
Yeah. Oh, the big fat truckers took it on they took it up the ass today. They took it good. They took it good. Tim Hortons got hurt. There was a lot of injuries today in this show. What else? The guys with needle dicks. I mean, we've had you've been roughed up today out there. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike. Richard of Virginia, the Jay Thomas Show. Rodney Lee Conover is here. The mayor of Las Vegas, Nevada, Rodney, is coming up in just a few minutes. And you would think, Rodney, he wouldn't want to even talk about the mob, but that's what he's going to talk about. Okay?
Outstanding.
Thank you. It's almost like the mayor of Chicago coming on and talking about corruption, you know? I wanted to let that sit there for a minute. Yes, go ahead. Who am I talking to? Talking to Mike. Who am I talking to? Richard of Virginia. Yeah, thank you, Richard.
Well, first of all, that woman sounded like a damn Nazi.
Oh, you thought that German accent, she sounded like a Nazi?
Get in the oven.
What? Say that again, Richard. Say it again.
Get your piss bottle and get in the oven.
Oh no, that's terrible. We can't do it. You can't say
that. One more thing.
No, you can't say that.
That bitch would probably weigh about 450 if it wasn't for them piss bottles she had to get the exercise to pick up. So I think she owes us a fucking gratitude of thanks. What do you think, Jay?
Well, yeah, there you go. You know what? As I said before, there is a silver lining, and you found it. Thank you.
Pisser size.
Piss. Yeah, Rod, did you hear it?
I have that video by Jane Fonda.
Pisser size. It's just, Richard Simmons.
Article.
Okay.
Moving on.
Hey, you know that the people at Family Guy have gotten in real trouble over a Nazi thing. Did you read about this?
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
They go back to 1939 Poland, and they have the dog and the baby back there. They dress like Nazis. And while they're walking around, there are Nazis with McCain-Palin stickers on their lapels. And I got to tell you, aren't you shocked that Fox let them run that? I mean,
well,
any channel, but I'm surprised that Fox...
I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to invoke in the first place. You know, it's like, do you really think McCain-Palin is on par with a guy who marched millions of people into gas chambers? I mean, it's like when you got mad at Jake and you said, hey, that's not even clever.
Right, I agree. It isn't clever. Yeah, when my son did a bomb threat to the lady that reads the palms, right? Do you know they blew up a palm reader's car in Los Angeles 2 weeks ago?
Holy shit.
Because the gypsies...
What did Jake smell like when he got home?
Because the gypsies, apparently, they have these wars and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And
you'd think they'd see it coming.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd think one of them would say, ooh, bad news today.
We were sitting here, and some gorgeous thing walked by here and waved at me, and she's got these kind of stormtrooper boots on.
Oh, God.
That's the greatest thing the Nazis ever thought of. Those stormtrooper boots and the whips. Those are the two only good things that they did for us. Rodney Lee Conover is here. I'm Jay Thomas, and don't forget, Richard Simmons is on Sirius 102. Pissing to the oldies. That's Sirius Stars 102.
AC/DC Radio.
It's the only channel playing non-stop AC/DC music.
AC/DC Radio.
Here's songs from their new CD, Black Ice. Their first in 8 years. Out now.
Welcome to the sounds of thunder.
I'm Angus Young from AC/DC.
From down under.
This is Brian Johnson, and let's keep it rocking on AC/DC Radio.
On Sirius Channel 29.
It's the best of college football.
He may go!
With the best of XM on Sirius. You already know Sirius is home to schools like USC, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. Now, with the best of XM, you get the ultimate college football package. Add the best of XM to your Sirius subscription, and you'll get SEC, Pac-10, Big 10, Big 12, Big East, ACC, and Notre Dame. You can't get this kind of coverage on radio. Call 888-7-BEST-XM. Go to Sirius.com/bestofxm. Available to U.S. subscribers only.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or an individual and you need health insurance, you need to make this free call and see how the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company can help you. They specialize in helping the self-employed and individuals just like you who need flexible health insurance to get it. Don't take risks with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or an individual and you need quality family health insurance, call right now.
866-501-MEGA, 866-501-MEGA, 866-501-6342. Market and plans vary by state. Not licensed in New York. Exclusions and limitations apply. North Richland Hills, Texas. Policy series on file. Association group plans, where available, require association membership.
Do you get tired of styling your hair every day? And do you want a good hairstyle every day? Hi, I'm Sarah Schuster. I invented the Insta-Do. Just put it over your head like a helmet does, and you can have an instant hairstyle. People like it. People like Jeff Bart. I like it. See, I told you.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Bright light city, gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there. They're all living the devil may care, and I'm just a devil with love to spare. So viva Las Vegas, yeah. Viva Las Vegas, yeah. How I wish that
I don't mind anybody calling me Elvis the Pelvis, but my brother's name is Enos. Hey, everybody. How you doing? It's the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102. Rodney Lee Conover is in California. I'm in New York City with Sean Kelly and Garrett Andritz, 4 or 5 inches away from me in the smallest studio any major talent has ever been forced to sit in. I may piss in a bottle before the show is over. I may throw it on somebody. And don't forget that Art Sears and Andrea Bushy bring us all the incredible guests. Hey, let's welcome the mayor of Las Vegas, Oscar Goodman. Oscar, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover. How are you, Mayor Goodman?
Thank you. That song, that music, that Elvis, it brought a smile to my face.
Now, I am from Louisiana.
I can't help that.
And Rodney Lee Conover is from Chicago. We both still go back quite often. We're not just from there. Two of the more corrupt states and cities in the United States.
Well, you want me to take the fifth?
No, I don't. But you were a criminal defense attorney and all, and there in Las Vegas, you're about to open this mobster museum.
The Mob Museum, yes.
The Mob Museum. Now, most mayors, most governors, most city officials, they would shy away from bringing up the heritage of corruption and stuff. You're embracing it, aren't you, Mayor Goodman?
Well, what we're doing is we're telling the truth about our history, and of course we have a unique past here. I have a lot of friends who live in El Paso, but we're not El Paso with casinos. We come from a very interesting history, and when I was first elected about 9.5 years ago, I had the opportunity to buy for $1 a surplus U.S. courthouse and post office building, which was built back in the 30s. It's one of the few buildings that is not imploded here in Las Vegas, and there was a condition that we make it into a museum. And, we have a lot of great watercolor artists here. We got a lot of people who make beautiful porcelain products, but that would not bring people into my downtown, which I'm trying to really revitalize. And I said, what could go there? And it dawned on me, what makes Las Vegas different than any place else? And it was the mob. So we're going to have a mob museum here, and I got a little bit lucky, because a lot of people were saying that the mayor wants to build a museum in his own honor.
Yeah, because you were a leading criminal attorney.
Well, I played myself in the movie Casino because
Yes.
I represented all those fellows in real life.
Meyer Lansky, Nicky Scarfo, Herbert Fat Herbie Blitzstein, Phil Leonetti, Frank Lefty Rosenthal, Jimmy, is it Chagra, the big drug trafficker?
Well, don't say drug trafficker, but Jimmy Chagra, right?
Well, that's what they say he was, though.
And I understand. That's okay. He just passed away recently, so we have to say nice things about him.
Because somebody...
The late drug trafficker?
That's very good.
What about Anthony Tony the Ant Spilotro?
What about it? He was very nice to my office staff. He always said thank you and please, and thank God paid me.
No, but the thing is...
But he didn't stab anybody in the throat with a pencil like in the movie?
Not when I was around. But it's funny, all those people that you mentioned, the government always used to say they killed 26 people. It was always 26 people, but nobody was ever killed around me.
Okay, now, so, you know what?
How about injured?
No injuries either.
Maimed?
Whose knees did you have to break to get that building for $1? That's the first thing I was thinking.
Yeah, how'd you get that?
How'd you do the $1 building, Mayor?
A beautiful building, it really is. Well, it was surplus from the GSA. And,
right.
How'd you get that zoning changed?
I'm the mayor, aren't I?
Exactly.
Now, before we go into this mob thing, I mean, you're a wonderful man and a Democrat, and everyone loves you there in Las Vegas, elected by over 63%.
Oh, no, 84%.
I'm sorry, 84% of the constituents. Well, the 63% are still alive, and the
26 of them are dead.
Yeah, the other 21% were dead, but that's okay. We'll let
the other 16% who didn't vote for me.
Yeah, those. Good luck to them.
Right.
But you at one time, you've said some unusual things. Now, this, I almost think I stole from you. I hate graffiti more than anything else. My kids say that it's art.
No, that's bull. I don't see any Picassos or budding Picassos out there. These are all punks.
Yes, and you said that you think they should have their thumbs cut off.
I thought it was the right appendage.
On television.
Absolutely. I'm not going to do it secretly. What would be accomplished by that?
Absolutely. And I agree with that, but they are now lionizing these so-called artists. Do you have a lot of graffiti in Las Vegas?
Fortunately, it's a major problem costing our taxpayers millions of dollars because we have a very active neighborhood services force here that goes out and we rectify the problem within 24 hours. So it's very, very costly, but we feel that if we don't do that, then that's the first signs of blight these days, and we have to do it in order to keep our neighborhoods shining and clean and successful.
Now, what do you do to them when you catch them? You can't cut their thumbs off on...
Well, I suggested a stockade, and they could be hit with paint or maybe even acid if the graffiti was bad enough. Teach them a lesson, but right now we're sending them to prison, which is a good thing. They thought it was a joke in the beginning when we said we're going to make it into a prisonable offense, and nobody listened to us, but when the newspapers and TV show these guys, and they're not kids, these are just punks who do this, much of which is a gang and territorially related to the gangs. They see them being hauled off to prison. It has a very good effect.
Well, you know, in New Orleans, they're putting up these crime cameras, and
they don't do too much good, unfortunately.
No.
The taggers, as they call themselves, they're so dumb that they basically identify themselves, and if you can catch one of them and match the tag, you know who's been doing the dirty work.
Well, one of these crime cameras, or a couple of them, the kids climbed up the pole, and they went to, break the camera. The camera was so close to a transformer that a couple of them were electrocuted.
Good.
Good. Fell from the pole, and they didn't die, but they're terribly injured. Do you know that there is a lawsuit, and they're having to move those crime cameras away from the transformers?
That's a joke.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, and if there's a lawsuit, let them go to a jury trial. They'll see how fast the jury will come back with a verdict for the municipality, for the state on that one.
Now, before we talk about the Mob Museum, which I know you're very proud of,
I am.
You are the spokesman for were the spokesman for Bombay Sapphire Gin.
Correct.
Right. You were speaking to some fourth graders at Joe Mackey Elementary School, and they asked you what you would bring on a desert island. What did you tell the fourth graders, Mayor?
Told them the truth. They said if I was in the middle of the ocean on a little island, what's the one thing I would want? And believe me, in that condition, I would not be asking for a Bible.
Right.
That I want a bottle of gin. And some people got upset over it. I don't understand it.
And a showgirl. Didn't you add showgirl to it?
No, showgirls were my second choice. Well, it was very funny. After it got all the brouhaha here, a cocktail waitress came up to me and she said, Mayor, you behaved yourself. My husband would have wanted pornography on that island.
That's right. Now, Mayor, when you see these politicians having to be politically correct and say half-truths and sort of what they mean and getting in bed with people that they're not interested in, like John McCain was a whole different guy 4 or 5 years ago, right? And Barack Obama, I don't know enough about him to know, what he was really like. But when you see that and then you speak plainly, do you think you'll ever be able to move up the ladder to governor or senator or something if you speak as plainly as you speak now?
Well, I've seen the polls, and the people appreciate somebody who's candid and honest and tells the truth. They may not agree with me all the time, but they certainly like somebody in elected office to tell it the way the person thinks it is. I don't know whether I'm telling the truth, but it's the truth according to Oscar. And
right.
I do the best I can, but what am I going to do? Give him a phony answer? Life's too short for that. I was a trial lawyer. I represented a lot of unpopular people and unpopular causes, but I had to look at juries every day of my life, and they know what a phony is. And I had to be real, and I had to tell them the truth when I was defending my clients, and I didn't have a bad record doing it that way.
Now, do you think that if John McCain, I'm just going to say McCain because he looks like he's losing, he was on this show, he couldn't have been more candid, more interesting.
That's good.
And yet, now, and he had a great disdain for the religious right, and Falwell and Pat Robertson said they were, the dividers of the nation and all that. He was, I guess he didn't care about choice that much and the religious right. All of a sudden, he's a different guy. I think that lost the election for him. A guy like me wouldn't vote for him.
I just know that life is too short, and you got to live it the way you live it the best. And to me, I just filled out a questionnaire, and they wanted to say what's the most important lesson that I've ever learned in my life, and it is to tell the truth. You can't go wrong with the truth, and you don't want to be a phony because people can see right through it. So I have a very easy way of doing business here. I tell people what I think, and if they don't like it, they can vote me out of office. That's their prerogative. I had a good life before I was the mayor. I'm going to have a good life after I'm the mayor, and if I wanted to run for governor, the polls say that I'd certainly have the best of it. If I wanted to run for Senate, the polls say I'd have the best of it, but right now I'm happy being the mayor.
Now, what about being a guy that defended Meyer Lansky, Fat Herbie Blitzstein, and what was Fat Herbie accused of?
Poor Herbie he wasn't that fat, actually. The funny part about it is he looked fat, but he was as solid as a rock.
Right.
It was all muscle, and Herbie was from Chicago originally, and basically he hung around with the betting crowd, and basically those were his issues. He was involved with the illegal gambling statutes over the years, but Herbie was no dummy, and he was very polite, very nice to me, and I take them as I see them. I'm not a moralist or a judgmental person. I represent people who had a problem, and tried to do my very best to make sure that if they were convicted with lawfully obtained evidence. If the evidence was illegally obtained, the government wasn't entitled to a conviction, and I wanted to make sure that the prosecutor acted appropriately, because if they acted with misconduct, they weren't entitled to a conviction. So I have a very easy approach to life, and that is right and wrong, and I do my very best to talk about the right side.
My friend Mickey Sherman, who's a defense attorney.
I know Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey says that, they're innocent until proven broke. That's right. That's what he says all the time. Oscar, can you stay another couple of minutes? I want to come back and let you wax poetically about mobsters and your new mob museum, the mayor of Las Vegas. Oscar Goodman on the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover. I'm in New York at Sirius Stars 102.
A Sirius special event. Tune to Channel 113 for the California Governor and First Ladies Conference on Women, hosted by Maria Shriver. Everybody has the power and the capability to be a leader in their own life. Hear inspiring stories from Michelle Obama, Bono, Condoleezza Rice, Jennifer Lopez, and many others.
Anyone tries to convince you that a woman can't do anything, remember the moment when you looked around this room.
The California Women's Conference.
We're part of something that's bigger than us.
Happening now, exclusively on Sirius Women's Conference Channel 113.
Have you been living paycheck to paycheck? Have you been making credit card payments for years, only to feel like the balance never goes down? In fact, with interest rate hikes and late fees, you feel like you're getting further and further behind, no matter how high your credit card debt is. At Jordan McKenna, we're not here to judge you. We're here to help you. Together, we can reduce what you owe and stop those harassing collection calls. We'll even design an affordable monthly payment plan. You could save thousands of dollars off your high-interest credit card debt. If you have over $5,000 in credit card debt, you could automatically qualify. So call Jordan McKenna now for a free, no-obligation consultation. Find out how to reduce what you owe. Stop the never-ending collection calls and get out from under that mountain of credit card debt. For your free, no-obligation consultation, call now. 800-437-0664. That's 800-437-0664. 800-437-0664.
Here's an important message from the Academic Advising Center for high school seniors, parents, graduate students, and anyone looking for college or career information. Have you been putting off your college education because you feel like you don't have the time or money? If so, we have the perfect service for you, and best of all, it's free. Save hours, even days on your college search. Benefit from professional assistance finding the right colleges, academic programs, and career training options. We have the perfect service for you, and it's free. The Academic Advising Center is your best source for information about colleges and universities. We'll match you with the right degree program and school for your career goals, budget, and lifestyle. Act today for a better tomorrow. From Ivy League to small local colleges and online universities, we help you in your search for the perfect school and degree program. If you're 17 years of age or older, the Academic Advising Center will enter you into a $10,000 scholarship contest just for trying our free service. Call 1-800-776-9165. That's 1-800-776-9165. Act today for a better tomorrow. 1-800-776-9165.
I'm paying on my TV set. I check the odds and I place my bet. I pour a drink and I pull the blinds. I wonder what I find. I'm leaving Las Vegas. Life's so bright, palm sweat, blackjack on a Saturday night. Leaving Las Vegas. Leaving for good, for good. I'm leaving for good.
Hey, the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102. You know that I performed in Las Vegas, but they didn't know it. You know they at the Caesar's Palace, the big barge, Mayor Goodman, that goes back and forth?
Right, Cleopatra's.
Yeah, I wanted to be a stand-up badly, and I was living in North Carolina. I would go and just perform stand-up on that barge when the band took a break. I wasn't. This was back in the 70s, and
You know, I think I remember some guy who looked like he was inebriated doing that.
No. I would get material together.
Yep.
And I'd been a comic in New Orleans, and I was a comic in North Carolina, and the band would take a break, and I would just start doing jokes, and no one ever caught me.
That's terrific. That's great. I remember that. You know, it was at that time, basically. My wife worked at Caesars around that time.
Right.
She was the executive assistant to the three principals over there, and I used to hang out at the barge. That was great. And I was just talking about the old Bacchanal room. Remember that one?
Oh, man. Rich friends of mine would come, and you'd get them. The guy that paid the bill got a massage, right?
It's the greatest. These young Filipino beauties would give you a massage. They peel grapes and then put them in your mouth. I mean, what's better than that?
Oh, man. Rodney Lee Conover, by the way, has a question for the mayor of Las Vegas, Oscar Goodman, before we go to talk about the Mob Museum. Rodney, what's your question for the mayor?
Your Honor, would it be possible to get me a room on the 25th? That's this Saturday. I'm going to be in your lovely city. I'm going to be bringing some investors from Texas, and we're talking, condo ownership.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be happy to help you out. All you have to do is email me or fax me the details, and I'd be happy to make arrangements for you.
Rodney, what would you like in your room waiting for you when you get there? What would you like?
A bottle of that Sapphire Bombay gin.
Sapphire, I could arrange that as well.
All right.
You can line that up.
There you go, Mayor.
I'll even have some Filipino girls with grapes.
There you go.
That's the code word, isn't it?
Great.
Now, you make jokes about this stuff, and any other politician, maybe in any other state in the union or city, would get in trouble, and it must be so freeing for you.
No, it's the greatest. Whenever I travel, I always bring two showgirls with me. Because I'm the chairman of the convention authority as well, and that's the brand of Las Vegas. So whenever I go someplace, I say it. I brought my members of my city council, and people just, they love it.
Now, how long have you been married?
Married 46 wonderful years, but my wife has given me immunity as long as I'm the mayor.
All right. Now, Mayor, you defended mobsters in your life and stuff, and I'm sure they're all innocent. Most are innocent. What are we going to see when you go into the museum? Has it already opened? Do we have a grand opening coming? What's been happening?
We'll be opening it up in the spring of 2010.
Right.
And it was very cool because, as I said, I was accused in the beginning of building a monument to myself and to my prior life. And, I was smart enough to pick pick a director who would be able to overcome that image, and we selected the former head of the local FBI here, and she is now our chairman of the board, and she has made tremendous strides with the national office to get us all sorts of FBI memorabilia, which will be there, Tommy guns, machine guns, all kinds of booking papers and the like. So when you walk in, you're going to be mugged, you're going to be printed, you're going to be taken into an elevator, or you'll be Mirandized. You may not be able to ever get out of the elevator. That depends on, who's running it. And we're going to celebrate. See, the reason that it's so special is Estes Kefauver, the senator from Tennessee, who was one of the first, shall I say, mob organized crime fighters, conducted a hearing in this very building, in the very courtroom in the building, and we are going to have a hologramic type exhibit there, recalling all of those old people who were called in there, who were asserting the privilege against self-incrimination with their lawyers, and the Estes Kefauver and the other members, and it's going to be very, very cool. It's just going to be a great experience from the moment you go in there to the moment you leave, and we'll be taking your picture. You'll be able to buy that on the way out. You'll have your number under it, like you were booked into an institution, and right off the bat, our branding is very neat. It's called the Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement, something like that. But basically, it's referred to as the Mob Museum, and we've redacted the word mob. So it's like you're making a FOIA request under the federal law, and everything that you want to get, you can't get. It's all X'd out. And when we had the opening of our branding session, everybody from the media wanted to buy a shirt. So it's going to be very, very neat.
Now I'm going to stand up and perform, even though I'm not going to be invited to. I'll just do my old act that I did years ago at the Barge when you were drinking at the bar there.
Why do you say you won't be invited? I'd love to have you.
No, I'll be there. I won't be invited to tell jokes. Is what I mean.
I'll let you do a stand-up.
Hey, by the way, I don't need to do a stand-up, but I tell you what, I'll MC the opening. I'm sure you'll have somebody bigger than me, but I
would love that.
I MC openings all over the place.
I'm going to make a note of that, and we may even pay your for the Filipino grape peeler.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you, Mayor Goodman. Now, Mayor Goodman, before we go another step away from here, prostitution is something that is not legal in the city limits of Las Vegas.
It's not legal in our county.
In your county, you've got to drive, an hour or two and get. And of course, there are always women that hit on you and stuff, and it's against the law and all that. But as one of the things you're trying to do, are you going to bring back prostitution downtown to bring more business down there?
If I felt that the community was ready for it, I would start a public discussion. Of course, to me, it makes sense. Right now, you're an ostrich if you think that it's not taking place.
Right.
We don't get any revenue from it. There's always a question of sexually transmitted diseases, which are really controllable as far as the legalized brothels throughout the state. And the safety factor, guys aren't going to be rolled within a legal type context. So it makes a lot of sense to me. But, there are moralists out there who just feel that it would be very demeaning to women. But I have a way to overcome that, too. We'll just have a brothel for women to buy men.
So you'd have a equal opportunity brothel system.
I'd like to MC that if
Rodney wants to MC the opening. Now, in Holland, in Amsterdam, families go to that red light district where they have the giant lit penis. I'm sure have you been to Amsterdam? You've seen the
No, I think they probably lit that up after I was there.
Yeah, well, you could have a giant penis and then a giant vagina right next to it.
I imagine you could do whatever you want to do.
Now, would you do it like that, where you have the women in the windows and make a section of the town? How would you handle it?
You can do whatever you want to do, as long as it's legal.
No, but I'm asking you how you see it.
I see it. I see it very. If we had it, I see. And I'm not going to pick out Caesars because you like it so much, but I could see brothels in the nature of the architecture of Caesar's Palace with just the best of everything.
So you go to the fabulous gym, you go to the swimming pool, you go to the gamble, and then there's a whole nother building that you would walk in, and it would be like the Bacchanal, the real Bacchanal from the Roman times.
I see no problem with that. I'm just saying that I don't think that my public is ready to completely embrace it.
Would Steve win? Would Steve win before that?
The economy being the way it is, this may be something very much worthwhile to discuss. And it's funny, when I ran the first time, my wife and myself would have discussions about this very thing. Mm-hmm. She says, please don't talk about a brothel. And then when I ran the second time, she said, well, you may think about a brothel, but don't talk about a brothel. And when I ran around the third time, she says, it may be time for brothel.
Now, would she let you partake?
Partake of what?
The women at the brothel.
Absolutely not.
No.
No, I was in a little documentary where I actually had to go into one of the gentlemen's clubs. And, part of the documentary was to film me there. We were roasting Mills Lane. Remember the old, he played a judge on TV, and he also...
Oh, he was the boxing referee.
Right, and we had a roast at the Olympic Garden here for him, and part of this documentary had a topless waitress serving me a drink, and my wife wouldn't talk to me for 3 weeks. But that's not here or there.
Right. Do they pay you in chips, or do you get a cash salary? How do they pay you?
Cash. It's from my old life. We love cash. Mr. Green.
Did you ever meet Lucky Luciano?
Oh, thank God. No, fortunately, I did not.
No, why do you say that? You said the other guys were good guys. Was Lucky a bad guy? Was he?
I never knew Mr. Luciano. I represented Mr. Lansky.
Right, but he was a smart one. He was more of now look. Now, when you say Meyer Lansky, and we think about Meyer Lansky and some of the other guys, these people were responsible for some number of people's deaths, dying.
I don't know that.
You really don't know that?
I don't. I really don't know that. No one's ever asked me whether they could kill anybody.
Do you not ever ask them whether do you ask them whether they're guilty or not?
Why is that relevant? That's not my job. My job is to make sure that the government does its job right, and if they don't, they're not entitled to my clients. If they do, then they're entitled to them.
Did you ever start giggling in court because your client was so guilty? You just couldn't stop giggling?
No. I've had clients say, "How are you going to win this case?" And he leaned over.
Come on.
Brilliant.
No. Did you at just one time, were you doing a case and the guy is so guilty you just start, you can't hold it back? I'd start to giggle.
The only time I ever giggled in court, I was representing a reputed mobster in San Diego, and the judge at the beginning of every session said, "Do not read anything in the newspaper, see anything on TV." And at the end of every session, he said, "Remember my admonition, don't read anything and don't see anything." And we came into court one day, and the juror raised his hand, and he says, "Judge, well, you tell us every day." Well, I look for it in the paper. I couldn't find it.
When a guy gets 10 years, you ever ask him to double down?
I'll never forget, I was sitting in court one day, and there was this real cracker from Georgia who was presiding over the proceedings in the Central District of California in Los Angeles, and I heard the poor defendant turn to his lawyer at the time of sentencing, and he said, "Did he say faux or phony?"
Hey, now what is it? You split 2 through 7, except for 4s and 5s. Is that the rule?
2s and I don't play the table games. I'm a degenerate sports bettor, but I don't play the table games.
Well, now if you run for something in the Senate or whatever, not everybody can gamble there. No, they could bring up. There's all kind of stuff that they would bring up against you.
Like
I don't know. Once you get into the gin.
No, I don't have a problem. When I first ran, I spoke to my son and told him that they're going to try to embarrass me and get me to get hot and lose my temper. And he says, "Dad," he says, "remember, you got to make a preemptive strike." He was in the Marine Corps at the time. I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Tell him about you." So I got up in front of a group of seniors at my first debate, and I said, "I'm a drunk. I drink to excess, and after 5 o'clock, don't even bother calling me because I won't remember." I said, "I'm a degenerate gambler. I'll gamble with both fists if I see a cockroach. To go left or right." After that, there was not. What could they say? What could they say?
Oh, hey, listen, Mayor Goodman, I can't wait to come back to Vegas, and you have an open door policy. Can we visit you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, my doors are always open.
Great.
That's something that I'm proud of, and I have my little office up here is like a museum in and of itself. I have all sorts of great pictures. I've got pictures when I played myself at casino. I got pictures of myself with Selleck in the Las Vegas TV series.
And I would have to sit through you showing me the pictures of yourself? Is that?
Oh, absolutely.
That's a way not to get me to go to the office.
Well, that's tough.
All right. I'd like to just come in and maybe just talk to you a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, and Rodney would like 2 double beds.
2 double what?
2 double beds.
Oh, all he has to do is tell me what he needs, and he has it.
Yeah.
2 double beds, non-smoking. I'm good on the Strip. I'm good to go.
That's all he needs. No, downtown.
Oh, downtown, absolutely.
Right.
The Golden Nugget.
If you need anything, let me know. I'll have my office make the arrangements. You'll be a very happy camper.
Rodney, I think he means it.
I think he does,
I
too.
think he means it. Mayor, I'm going to give Rodney the phone numbers, and you'll know it's from the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Satellite. Now, wait a minute. I'm also booked to MC the opening of the Mob Museum. Now I have a booking 2 years in advance. I'm like Tom Cruise.
That's the greatest. Remember, spring of 2010 is going to be opening in conjunction with the reopening of the Lady Luck, which is right across the street. It's going going to be a big deal, and you'll have a very good time. I promise you that.
Hey, man, it was great talking to you. I think you're a great guy. Good luck, and we will talk to you soon and see you at the opening, and you'll see Rodney this Saturday.
Okay.
All right.
We'll check in and say hi. Thanks.
There you go. The mayor of Las Vegas, Nevada, the great mayor, Oscar Goodman. Rodney, I think he means it. I don't
think he was bullshitting.
No, I don't. I'll give you the numbers. Did you get all the info that Sean?
Yeah,
You got the numbers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, do not hesitate to call.
I want to go down there and get a picture taken in his office. Seriously.
See if he'll put it up.
No, so we'll put it on the
What
Jay
would
Thomas
your
web
nickname
show.
be if you were a mobster? You'd be Rodney.
Two dicks, kind of.
You'd give yourself a really good name.
Then someone else would say that.
You mean you know?
Rodney Two Dicks.
No, you know what? You
never give yourself one because
you'd
you'd
have to say to me. You'd have to go. Now look, start spreading the name around.
Yeah.
Two
And
Dicks.
you'd be like, so who do you think's responsible for that thing with that guy? Oh,
Rodney.
that's the work of Two Dicks.
That's the word. Two Dicks over there.
Two Dicks.
What? Yeah, that's right. Two Dicks.
Hey, what about that thing with that guy? You know what? I'll get Two Dicks on it.
That's right. Why do they call him that? Because women go to bed with him and they think they feel two of them down there.
Yeah.
They go, is there a website that will tell you the stupid names of mobsters?
I'm sure there is.
Garrett.
StupidMobsters.com.
You know, Garrett just said,
What?
of course. Like I'm an idiot. Sometimes when I
There's
say stuff
everything.
like that.
It's rhetorical, Garrett.
Thank you. Thank God somebody understands me here.
That's Two Dicks talking. He knows everything.
Peter, Pete the Killer, Abanate, Frank the Dasher,
Wait a minute.
Abadondo,
Pete the Killer. What do you think he was accused of?
Frankie Shots,
Jaywalking.
Yeah.
Ralph the Head, Abruzzi,
right?
Sedimo, Big Sam, Accardi. There's just tons.
No, I mean good names. Gee whiz. You'd be great at Saturday Night Live. They would love all your material. God almighty. What would I be, I wonder? You know what?
J double Emmy winner.
That's
Thomas.
what I would do. It would be a bragging thing. It would be. You know what? Jay on Dr. Phil today at 3:00. Thomas.
That must be double. That's the work at
Name above the door, Jay Thomas. That's right.
That's
Jay.
the work at double Emmy winner.
That's right. Hey, Ed Asner will be here. He's doing a movie of the week or whatever. But I have a question to ask Ed about politics. So hold on to your hats. You know he's like wildly socialist, isn't he, Sean? Ed Asner? He's unbelievable. It's the Jay Thomas Show coming to you from New York at our studios high above the Avenue of the Americas. Why are you working here, Sean? Okay? It's Sirius Stars 102.
Frank, One Ear Frankie Fratto.
Wonder why they gave him that name. You know what he'd say to everybody? Huh? What? What happened? Talk in my left ear.
Normally I take my broom when I travel during the Halloween season to do all that mortal traffic. But this year it's broken. So I've turned my toad into a station wagon. Traffic is always a hassle. That's why when I do drive, I listen to Sirius First Traffic and Weather. They cover the 20 most congested cities in the country. Sirius First Traffic and Weather. Channels 148 to 158. And remember, be mindful of all the little goblins and ghosts running about the streets. Sirius wants you to have a safe and happy Halloween. Drive on, Toad.
Ron and Fez here. It's the best of XM, and guess what? It's available now.
With the best of XM, you wake up every morning with our buddies, Opie and Anthony, completely uncensored on the virus, with replays throughout the day and over the weekends.
Then check us out, the Ron and Fez Show, each and every day from noon to 3 in the East.
The best of XM also delivers play-by-play coverage of the NBA and college sports, including the ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, Big East, Pac-10, and SEC. Plus, you'll get every race from the Indy Racing League, including the Indy 500.
And you'll get the PGA Tour Network. That gives you complete coverage of the PGA Tour, including weekly play-by-play of the biggest tournaments going on. It's the best of XM, and it's available now. Call 888-7-BEST-XM. That's 888-723-7896. Or you can go online to Sirius.com. It's the best of XM, available to U.S. subscribers only.
If you want to be the best CEO in the world, this message is for you. Did you know that there's 12 areas of mastery that make all great companies, large or small? These same 12 areas can help propel your company to triple-digit growth. And I know because I've used these 12 areas to double the sales of more companies than anyone else. I'll give you those 12 discoveries for free if you call us at 800-913-0600. My name is Chet Holmes, and all I do is help CEOs build the best companies in the world. I put my ideas into a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine, and it went from 45,000th on the day of release to the #1 business book in 2 days flat. If you want to become the finest CEO on the planet and literally slaughter the competition, make all-time profits, and build a company that runs without you for real, then we'll invest in you first by giving you Chapter 4 of my book. Call 800-913-0600 and leave us a voicemail with your email address, and we'll email you Chapter 4. Read this single chapter, and you will discover the secret that has helped me double sales for billionaires, get more than 60 Fortune 500 clients, and design 500 record-breaking marketing campaigns. All this for free for calling 800-913-0600.
Sirius Stars 102. Rodney Lee Conover is with us. And Ed Asner. Ed, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show, Ed.
Hey, you institution.
That's right. I'm an institution.
Well, you're either an institution or you should be in one.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you. We've known each other a long time. This is my friend Rodney Lee Conover, Ed.
Hello, sir.
Very right-wing, very conservative, Ed.
Why do you have him on with me?
Because I'm a big fan.
Before we say anything about... Before we say anything about anything else, we're going to say that Mr. Asner is not here for his health. Hallmark Channel has him on Generation Gap. It'll be on Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And Ed, of course, it says here, by the way, your publicist said Ed prefers to be called Edward Asner.
No, that publicist has been fired.
Okay. Anyway, 7-time Emmy Award, 5-time Golden Globe winner, has been in every type of television show, movie, part. There's nothing that Mr. Asner has not done. And in this show, he is given the charge of his young, rough around the edges grandson. Right, Ed?
Right.
And you straighten his little ass out.
Well, I try to, but I must say that he also wears some of my guilt off me. So GILT, that is.
Okay.
And I learn from him probably as much as he teaches me.
Now, Ed, here's the question I want to ask you. You have been a Democratic type, a liberal man. Forget the party, but you have just a socialist almost. Liberal causes are your thing, and yet the type of person you are, your physicality, your voice, the guys that you've played, you would seem like a tough kind of right wing. You're almost too tough to be as liberal as you are.
Well, maybe the liberals need me.
Yeah. You know, every time you see a liberal, they're like being politically correct and...
I know.
Yeah. Does it drive you nuts?
Listen, the supine quality or negative of Democrats bothers me as much as Republican perfidy.
Now, what don't you like about the Democrats this year?
Well, I had greater hopes from the Democratic Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I had hopes that they would try to do more. I mean, beginning with Nancy Pelosi saying impeachment's off the table, blah, blah, blah.
They should have impeached the president, right?
Well, certainly say, it's back on the table at least.
Sure.
We're interested in it. The number of, for instance, the firing of the prosecutors. It sounds like that trail is still hot and may end up with some indictments in the Attorney General's office. Let's hope so, because dirty work was done.
And, you know, the thing now is when you watch any of these speeches, I saw that CNN has a thing now where, and it hasn't been done before, where after every speech, a person comes on and explains whether any of it in the speech is true or not, whether the Democrat does it or the Republican does it. So both sides are lying and stuff. You've been at this a long, long time. And are you still, I guess, is it hard for you to be positive about America, or as time has gone on, do you feel more depressed about the state of our nation?
It's hard for me.
It is.
It is. I'm tired of having wars manufactured for us and watching the people blindly say, yeah, and watching the Congress quietly accept it. I'm so fed up with all of this crap.
Right.
The fact that the military-industrial complex continues to rule us, and every time they need to pull that plug or push it in, it's generated, and we find an excuse to go to war. I mean, look at the wars we've been in. They've all been wasted. All those lives.
Were you in the war? Were you in World War II? Or?
I was in during Korea.
And did you go over and fight?
I fought the Gooks in France.
You fought the Gooks in France?
And man, they're the meanest Gooks in the world.
Rodney. Rodney.
Yes.
You ever seen a French Gook? I haven't.
My dad fought the Gooks in France.
Did he?
You bet.
What does that mean?
Said the same thing.
What do you mean you fought the Gooks in France and Rodney's dad fought the Gooks in France? What does that mean?
You're stationed in France.
Gook
it's a joke.
term that came out of Korea, and it's a scatological put down of Asians, and it's still used to put down Asians. So since I was in the Korean War and we fought the Gooks during that war, the only Gooks I fought were in France, where I was stationed.
Oh, man.
You notice that North Korea or China did not take over France during that period.
No, they did not.
Did they?
Ed Asner, by the way, on Hallmark Channel's movie Generation Gap this Saturday night, 9 o'clock. Mary Tyler Moore, good Lord, even been on the Golden Girls. Now you got the guy from the Waltons on there and the whole thing. So watch the Hallmark Channel. Now, Ed, now that you've been in Hollywood for so long, how do you think? What is Hollywood looking like to you? You can't make a movie unless you have the biggest star in the world. Television is taken over by people we've never heard of.
But who's the biggest star today? I mean, you need a program to find out who that is, don't you?
Well, yeah.
I mean, the chaos rampant in our town now, the anarchy that rules in our town now. I am just so happy because I've got kids in the business, and that disturbs me because.
Your daughter is in the business?
Yeah, she's an actress, and my son's a producer. And the fact that I was able to enjoy this business when it was so wonderful to be identified in, and that gave me such success.
Well, I was at an Emmys party once, and this is years ago, and I was, nominated for an Emmy or something, and I went in, and you knew my name, and I will never forget that as long as I live. And I mean that. This had to be, 17, 18 years ago, and I had no idea how you could possibly know my name. You probably read the program or something, but I'll never forget. I mean it. I'll never forget it ever.
Well, I'm delighted to know that I did a good deed, but why wouldn't your name be recognized? It's all over the place.
You're right, but I just didn't imagine that any real high level of entertainer knew who I was. You know what I remember when you were on Roots? I mean, you played a son of a bitch.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You were a good guy in Roots.
Man had a heart.
What, weren't you a slave owner?
What I call a good Nazi.
Yeah, you were like a slave owner, right? Now, when you play a bad person like that, and I actually have heard many people say you cannot play the evil within an evil character.
Right.
How do you put something together when you're playing a slave trader like that?
Well, there were ways of cramming slaves in the ships in those days.
Right.
And the mortality rate on the ship was terrible. So you could say I did it for the profit, but my goal was to save as many of their lives as possible by being as benevolent as possible. And when I landed the ship, I landed more live slaves than most ships usually did. So you can say, did I do it for the public? I don't know. I never figured that part out. But I think I was actually trying to save lives. And even though I got laid while I was doing it,
yes,
and that haunted me, I still, the whole process ate into me so that I was a shallow hulk of a man by the time I finished the voyage.
Now, when you were doing, of course, Mary Tyler Moore, it was a comedy. And then when you moved over to, the drama, Lou Grant, I remember reading an article saying, how do they take a guy from a sitcom and make him into, a dramatic actor? And it happened on The Odd Couple, too, believe it or not. And one of the reasons why they did it. Did you have any qualms about being Lou Grant as a serious show?
I was too stupid to realize that it was an impossible task.
Yes. Yeah.
I did it because I asked for the producers of the Mary Tyler Moore Show to produce my show, which they did. They wanted to produce an hour show of dramatic content with some laughs. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, they know what they're doing. As it turned out, it took us 2 years before we could really straighten out and know what we were doing. Nobody had ever done an hour show. In charge of that show, even in the crew, none of them had been with an hour show. So we were all learning, and it took 2 years before we really nailed it down.
Well, I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, I've been on shows and wondered why they were canceled, but I'm sure you said it publicly, that you thought Lou Grant was canceled because of your political views and the stuff that you were getting into off screen. Do you still believe that?
Yeah.
Really? They would give up money even though you were just being it was medical aid to El Salvador was the thing, right?
Right.
So you believe that these greedy bastards canceled a successful show because of your politics? Did it come from on high, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
It came from Paley, I think. Paley was pretty close to Reagan, and it was the first years of the Reagan administration.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple of congressmen who were leading a boycott of Lou Grant. Some sponsors dropped out, but I was assured by a vice president that sponsors were waiting in line to take their place.
Right.
So, and maybe, and also it took a dip in the ratings at that particular time. So they ran scared, and they canceled it before too much more was said.
Well, I think they're too greedy now to do that. So if Hollywood has grown at all, it's grown in its greed. I mean, you see people now arrested, flipping the car, cocaine falling out of their pockets, and then you find out they're with a transvestite, and the show goes to #1 the next week,
Yeah.
Do you think that's a growth?
No. I mean, where are you based?
Well, I live in California. I live in Santa Barbara, but I also do my show from my home in New Orleans, and we have this huge, unbelievable studio here in New York. And I made peace with Howard Stern, and I also work with Howard over here at Sirius Satellite. So I have this great life, and I still get to act and stuff. So it's all
I heard
cool.
You just did a Boston Legal.
Yeah, and I end up in bed with Bill Shatner. We get to be in bed together. Now I knew Ed like I knew Bill like I know you, and then when I acted with him, even though he knew me and everything else, I'd never gotten to act with him, so it was unusual. And of course, I don't act stupid when I'm acting with him. But gosh, I figure something out. Let me just come in and do one scene with you one time. Next time you do something, say, why don't we bring that little asshole Jay Thomas in here? Just say it like that.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, I want you to do that.
When I have a show.
Anything. Just say, I'd like you to bring that little asshole Jay Thomas in.
Listen, buddy, I'd like you to bring that little asshole Jay Thomas in here and do one scene.
That's all I had. Ed, thank you. Edward Asner.
But wait a minute now. That's not a true statement.
What isn't?
It should have been, hey, buddy, listen, why don't you bring that big asshole Jay Thomas in here so we can do a scene?
Well, that's the end of this interview.
Why?
Well, I'm sick of this kind of abuse. And by the way, I know your real first name is Itzhak. Okay, how about that?
No, that's bullshit too.
No, your first name is Itzhak, and you're trying to cover it up.
Yes, every Jew gets a Hebrew name when he's born.
Yeah. Why aren't you Itzhak, Asner?
And my birth certificate. You want to know what my birth certificate said?
Asshole.
Yeah. Come on, don't be vengeful.
Hey, Rodney, here is one of the biggest liberals you've ever had a chance to talk to, and you're not saying anything. I know I'm
Listen,
hogging.
I'm a much bigger movie and TV fan than I am of politics.
Yeah.
So Mr. Asner happens to be a hero of mine.
Why
so
don't you tell Ed what you said?
I'll have you keep a civil tongue in your mouth.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Why don't you tell Ed Asner what you said at the beginning of this show today about tax cuts? Go ahead, tell him.
Why are not, Mr. Asner, why are liberals why are liberals not for tax cuts? Because they bring in more revenue that could be distributed to people who need it.
Well, I mean, that's if I accept your. I don't know that that's proven. First of all, but secondly, the tax cuts being discussed by Obama, to my knowledge, is above $250,000. So that's not going to take it from the middle class. Certainly, it's only going to take it from the rich, or what used to be rich.
Right. So actually, Rodney, I didn't even think about that. You answered your own question. I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you call Rodney an asshole now, Ed?
No. He asked a straightforward, simple, honest, good question. And first of all, Republicans have forever proclaimed government is the evil. I believe in government because I believe without government taking care of people, nobody would.
I agree with that. I always have.
And unless we get government that money, unless we figure out how to get that money, how are we going to take care of people?
Have you ever bitched about your taxes, Ed?
Not that I know of, no.
And you've paid millions of dollars to the United States government, and you've never. I mean, and you know, I haven't paid as much as you have, but I paid a lot, and I'm not a guy that complains about it. But there must be people who open their paycheck, and the taxes have caused them trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but isn't that traditional throughout history?
Yes.
For God's sake, I mean, people are always going to say, "What the hell happened to it?"
Right.
But you know, at the same time, we eat, we pay our rent, we pay our mortgage, we drive nice cars. Well, we live in an enchanted island, and I'm afraid that enchanted island is going to be shrinking very rapidly because I don't think we can afford to live the way we've always lived.
Well, you know, Tiberius 2,000 years ago bailed out the Roman banks. I mean, this isn't the first time this kind of stuff has happened.
And of course, you know, everybody talks about, you know, he's a socialist. He's this, he's that.
How did that work out for Rome, Jay?
What about this socialism of saving the banks?
Yes, I agree. You know, in the end,
where's that money going to come from? Not from the banks.
No, not anymore. Well, Ed, listen. Ed Asner is with us. Hallmark channel on Saturday night. Generation Gap, and you adopt your almost adopt your back into your family, your grandson. In one scene, you have a big bullhorn to wake him up, and it's an idea they stole from me a few years ago, but I'll let you have it. And Ed,
you need a bullhorn?
I once wrote a show where an old grandma adopts a rock and roll kid or something. They tell me now, unless Ed Asner will play the woman, you can't do it. That's what they said to me. So, Ed Asner.
You've never seen me in drag, have you?
Ed, great to talk to you again. Thanks for all your kindness over the years, and I would love to work with you one day, but thanks for being on my radio show. Thank you.
I love being with you.
Thank you. Ed Asner.
Go down the low.
Okay, I will. It's the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102.
America is the greatest force for good in the history of the world.
Senator McCain and I do agree. This is the greatest nation on earth.
You've heard the candidates battle and fight their way through the debates.
Senator Obama has never taken on the leaders of his party on a single issue.
Senator McCain voted for 4 out of 5 of those George Bush budgets.
They've had their time. Now it's yours. Join us on the road to the White House. Patriot 144, Left 146, and Indie Talk Sirius 110. Politics from every point of view. Only on Sirius.
Drive the distance with Landspan. Their amazing and dedicated teams average 2,000 miles per dispatch, run coast to coast, and enjoy great benefits plus more. Or if you're a solo who wants to run regional in the eastern states, ask about Watkins Truckload Service. Honored, trusted, be a part of the Watkins legacy. Join them. Call Landspan today at 866-758-8921. That's 866-758-8921. Or visit them online at landspan.com.
Are you a busy entrepreneur?
How do you make your small business sound more professional, yet stay connected to callers wherever you work from? You need a phone system that gives you the professional image of a big company. One that can work with your existing home, office, and cell phones, and is easy to use without the high costs and time-consuming installation of a traditional phone system. You need Got Vmail, the entrepreneur's phone system. Got Vmail provides your small business the same functionality as those expensive big company phone systems without all the high costs and expensive hardware. Got Vmail includes a toll-free or local number with a custom main greeting, voicemail via email, and multiple extensions that forward callers to anywhere you work from. Got Vmail makes it easier than ever to run a small business. Sign up today at gotvmail.com. That's GOTVMAIL.com.
Why are you still tied to that old, unreliable fax machine? MyFax lets you fax by email over the internet from work, home, or on the road, all for just $10 per month. MyFax is never busy and never out of ink or paper. Get rid of that second phone line and choose your local or toll-free number at no additional cost. See why MyFax is rated the #1 internet fax service in North America. Go to www.myfax.com/radio and try it free for 30 days. That's MyFax.com/radio.
Hi, the Jay Thomas Show, Sirius Stars 102. Wow. So, Rodney, you had other questions to ask Ed, I know, but he...
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jay.
He had to split. What was your other... Ask me the questions. What was your question?
Well, I was going to ask Mr. Asner if if you could get me a room Saturday night, the 25th.
Anybody that comes on, you're going to have him get your room somewhere?
It's worked so far. I'm 1 for 1.
Right. And the other one was...
the other one is, what is the truth about 9/11 thing going on? I can't believe that you pushed out and didn't ask him about it.
You know, to be honest...
Because I don't know. I mean, you guys were making fun over the break, but I don't know what it means either.
He has something called the 9/11 Visibility Project, the full truth of 9/11. I didn't see it on the paper. I would have asked him.
Did not look at your show.
Yes,
I
did, liar.
You're in New York, and Sean Kelly is not admonishing you for this?
Well, I'm busy here.
Well, I'm
very busy.
I'm surprised.
I'm running around. I think what the visibility 9/11 is that the Saudi Arabian money. It's not the conspiracy about Jews.
How do you know that?
What does it say, Sean? What was it?
Okay, the mission of the 9/11 Visibility Project is to raise public awareness of the disturbing, unanswered questions surrounding September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks, draw attention to the Bush administration's ongoing efforts to obstruct the current investigation, and stonewall the 9/11 National Commission, support the victims' families in their efforts to obtain the truth. While many have suggested that the Bush administration and elements within the U.S. military and intelligence agencies were complicit in the attacks, our goal is not to prove what did or did not happen on September 11th. We simply demand a rational explanation and full government accountability for the unprecedented and highly suspicious intelligence and air defense failures that took place.
Now, that is also the subject of the National Geographic documentary, which was unbelievable. And then when you see United Flight 93, and you see the cluster screw that the whole deal was. So you know what Ed really wants? He wants George Bush to be punished. That's all he cares about. He just wants him to be punished. And my father-in-law is the same way, Rodney. He's 82 years old. He wants Bush to be punished.
I want him to be punished, too.
You do?
But not to the point where I believe there was any sort of government conspiracy.
No. Forbid.
I'm not
for 1 minute. No.
It's just like I believe that pollution is yucky and we should get rid of it. And we should do everything we can to get rid of pollution.
Right.
But not to the point where it makes me believe in fairy tales about global warming. That's the difference.
Right. You think it just gets hot.
Actually, it's getting colder if you've been reading
I know. You always say that. It's not getting colder. The polar bears are swimming 60, 80 miles out of their way to get a fish.
You know why you don't see any polar bears?
Why?
They're frozen.
It's so cold they're frozen.
Open up the phones, too. It's so cold.
You notice that Ed didn't want to talk a lot about the movie.
Why not?
No. It's just that he's been doing it so long.
Yeah, that's true. You probably get...
It's a movie. We know what it is. It's the Hallmark thing, and he did his little bit, and then we were able to talk, which I thought was nice. Sometimes you have a guest on, and I'll mention one right now, Jamie Lee Curtis. She had the children's book, right? So she came on. So I didn't care about the children's book, and I think when you want to...
And I think we can throw the name of Carolyn Kennedy in there. Can we throw that in there?
You know what?
Jay, I'm telling you, that is a best of, and I don't know what your problem is.
It's because I was scared of her.
Well, that's best of.
And I opened up with, men don't like poetry. So why would you read poems?
Despite that, her dad was the one that told her.
Then she said that. She goes, "Well, my dad read these poems to me." I went, "Oh, you mean the guy that screwed every woman in Washington D.C. right there in the Lincoln bedroom?" No, I didn't say any of that.
No,
you know what? I would run that as a best of, but it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing
for how frightened I was of it.
Very embarrassing. I agree. Humiliating.
Absolutely.
And great radio.
Humiliating. We can rerun it.
Rerun that fucking thing. That was great. Come on.
We'll get it. We'll find it. We don't have it here you can't just pull that up just like
Isn't that in the...
what?
Isn't that in the... What do they call the computer there?
The Prophet.
Yeah. The humiliating Prophet.
It's in there somewhere.
That thing's burning. It's so overloaded.
In there somewhere. I don't know. But Ed Asner, .com, all that stuff. So that was good.
All of it.
What else? I read that they're going to take James Bond, and they're not going to have any of the witticisms or any of the things that we've all known James Bond says in this and the next couple of movies.
I hope so.
They're taking that out.
I hope so.
You think? Oh, come on.
That's what makes the James Bond movies bad. If they would take that crap out, maybe the movie would be decent.
That's what...
8 out of 10 James Bond movies suck.
That's what Ian Fleming did. The guy gets shot with a spear, and he goes, "Oh, he gets the point. You get the point?" Like that. And the woman gets killed, and he's dancing. He goes, "Could you hold her? She's just dead."
Do you know why they're doing what you're describing?
To make it like every other stupid movie out there.
No.
What?
Because of Austin Powers.
Austin Powers made so much fun.
They took that to the nth degree.
Oh.
And then the people at James Bond said, "Well, did you see Casino Royale? I saw it last night."
The new one?
The most recent, not the new one, but the most recent one.
But not the original one that was terrible with Peter Sellers.
No, the one with Daniel Craig.
Right, I saw that, sure, yeah.
That was the best James Bond ever, and it had the least amount of what I could call hokiness in it.
When he gets stabbed with the, he has to go out to the car and try and wake himself up when he's close to dying.
That's pretty good.
That one, all that. Yeah, but I saw Iron Man for the first time the other night.
And?
I liked about half of it. I thought it was awful. When they put Jeff Bridges in the big machine and he's trying to kill Iron Man, I'm thinking...
That's been done in so many movies. That was the most derivative thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Now, here's the other thing. They were showing, the cars and all that.
Do you hear Terrence Howard got fired?
Yes, I did. He got fired from Iron Man and replaced by...
But he didn't say that. He got laid off.
No one's ever fired.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle, they went in another direction.
I'm
Cheadle,
over him.
I am, too.
I love Terrence Howard. I'm over Don Cheadle.
And he was fine. And he's a nice guy and all. Terrence Howard did Mr. Holland's Opus.
I remember that.
That's where he was discovered. I pointed to him in the stands.
Did you do any one-on-one acting with him? Did you have scenes directly with him?
No, I was kind of a big deal, and I didn't want to be bothered by these kids.
Yeah.
I was pretty stupid.
In Mr. Holland's Opus 2, who got your part?
No, nobody did. They changed it to the they changed my character to the Easter Bunny and put him in the Santa Claus movie.
Did they?
But I was wearing a baseball cap in my in my costume.
Yeah.
So James Bond jumps in the Aston Martin, but it's not an Aston Martin anymore.
What is it now? A Prius?
What is it now, Garrett? It used to be an Aston Martin. I don't think it's an Aston Martin. It's something else.
It's probably a Beamer now.
I don't know what it is. But so he gets in
all of it.
All my friends, he would get in the Aston Martin. We would go nuts. He would, whatever fabulous car, Mercedes-Benz or whatever. The other day, I was going to the gym, and there's a big parking lot and right in front of the gym, the 24-hour, gym. A guy pulls up in his Aston Martin convertible. And he gets out, and all I can think is what an asshole this guy is, right?
Did you go up to him and say it looked like a Chrysler 300?
No, it didn't look like anything. You know what it looked like? What's the one that looks like an electric razor? You know, those kind of there's a couple of old
Norelco,
like an old Nissan looks like that. There was nothing that looked like I would have done it. But so he gets out of this Aston Martin. Same thing when a guy gets out of a Mercedes-Benz, super sports car or whatever. Do you not hate every one of those guys that gets out of those cars?
They don't look like cars anymore. They almost look like clown cars.
But I'm talking about the owner.
I know.
Of the car.
I know what you're talking about.
You hate those guys.
And it's usually some old fuck that is,
This guy
couldn't have fun if he tried.
This guy wasn't old, but you knew he was incredibly rich. And he got out, he had brand new jeans on, and he was a little overweight. He was like, maybe 45 years old, a little bit overweight, had his shirt tucked in, but he had the little belly and all, and the expensive leather jacket, and the real expensive, leather bag, and all of that. And I wanted to key the car and get a knife and cut a hole in the top.
Did you?
No, I wanted to. Why do we hate those people when in the movies, oh my God, look at got the rocket ship car. If I saw a guy like Daniel Craig with a gorgeous woman get out of an Aston Martin, I would hate his guts. Hate his guts.
How about if you saw a guy that kind of looked like me get out of a Mercedes-Benz E320 four-door? How would you feel about him?
The one you have that has some of it's painted, some of it's not painted?
The Hyena, yes.
What do you call it?
The Hyena.
He drives a car that looks like a wildebeest. You ever see
No, it looks like a hyena. I swear to God, it does.
Why don't you get it painted or whatever it needs?
Because it's unique. Nobody has what I have.
You know, at a car like that,
I don't want to get out of a car and have people think I'm a dick.
One of the Red Hot Chili Peppers used to have a car like that. Yeah, it's got to be painted a weird color or beat up looking.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a GPS in that car? Do you have all that?
No, I know where I'm going. Jesus tits.
Turn left. Turn right.
I've got a girl in there that goes.
Following the orders.
Hey, you never asked me about Kinga.
Oh yeah, you gave King a little bonus last week. What happened?
Well, little was not in the story.
What did old Two Dick do?
Well, let me put it this way.
Yeah.
Me and my new girlfriend are shopping for a new house cleaner.
You're dating Kinga.
I told her that if this was a regular thing, if we were now dating or have any sort of relationship, that the house, and sure enough, her last time she was there cleaning the house.
Topless.
Horrible job. Rotten.
But no, wait a minute.
I fired her as a house cleaner.
You plied her with drugs.
She is now the East Block Regional Mrs. Conover.
Now,
Eastern Block.
Can I be honest with you?
No.
If you introduce people to her...
I would never introduce you to her, don't worry.
No. Look, she's probably a very nice person.
Probably.
The fact that
she's the nicest.
Don't
be pissing on her, Jay, you jealous bastard.
I'm not jealous. I would never
You're about
date.
to piss on her,
I
and
would
you are
never
jealous
date
that I am banging a beautiful Polish broad.
Some Balkanese topless maid.
Balkanese?
Yeah, from the Balkans.
Public school, Jay?
No, from the Balkans. Aren't you ever embarrassed by the choices you make?
You know what?
What?
It's a blonde mess down there.
No, it isn't.
Oh, yeah? Is that right?
If she was topless at your house 1 day a week, where do you think she was the other 5 days a week?
Oh, is that what you think when you date?
Yeah.
Really? How many times were you married?
3 times.
And those 2 other girls were never with other men?
I didn't say other men, but not like 4 or 5 days a week. Topless cleaning.
What? If you're going to continue to piss on Kinga, it'll be to your detriment.
All right. I liked a woman once that worked for Strippergram. She worked for
I know. We're going to get to the bottom of this, too.
She worked for Strippergram. And she stripped at a birthday party.
And she dropped you.
Well, she stripped at a birthday party, and I hit on her, and we started dating, and I was having fun with her, and she really was a college student and all that, but she would strip, 5-6 times a week at some guy's building or whatever it was, right?
So are you one of these guys, Jay, that I'm not talking about not right now because you're married. I'm talking about before this. Are you one of these guys that has this really fucking fucked up fantasy?
Hold it a minute.
That
when
the guy,
you say
that
I know it's not going to be good.
That the girl you're with has not been with other guys.
No.
You have that stupid fantasy.
That when they're trashy and they're taking their tops off, there's something wrong with them.
Do you sit there and look at your girl and just think, well, she's never had some scumbag jizz all over her face? You're one of those guys?
If she was in love with a guy, that would be okay with me.
Oh, that's the fantasy you have. Every guy she slept with, she was in love with. love with.
No,
that's not psychotic.
Here's what happened. We went out,
dude.
and
every
she
time
would tell
men
my
go
friends
out,
what
every
she
time
did.
men go out and do something wild sexually, they're with a woman. So the women are doing something wild sexually too, including the girl you're dating. Good God, get a grip on it, man.
We would go out to dinner, and my friends would go, like let's say I'm out with Sean and Garrett, and they would go, "Oh, Lucy, what do you do for a living?" And she would go, "I work for Strippergram." And I would want to crawl under the table, and I would say, "Don't tell people that." Then she would say, "I'm a dancer." And they would go, "Really? Who do you dance for?" Strippergram.
Jay.
Yeah. You can't do that. Admitted she was a stripper. Now, does she have dust bunnies down there, Kinga? Little dust bunnies?
You mean between her legs?
Down there.
You're talking about below the equator? Down Mexico way? South Warsaw?
Does she ever mess up your hospital corners? Do you ever do that? You know what those are?
What the hell does that mean?
When you make
on the bed?
Yeah, they're
She doesn't make the bed.
Well, what does she do?
Cleans.
Well, who makes the bed?
I do after I do the laundry.
Does she ever fluff you and your pillows?
She did this last time. I just told you that.
Okay. I dare you.
You know, she cleaned along my baseboard.
I dare you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ever had that? You ever had a girl do that?
She ever put a toothbrush in your cracks?
You ever get the tile between the tile cleaned out?
I dare you to put her on the air one day.
Well, you're just going to piss on her.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
yes,
not.
You are.
No,
okay,
I'm
all
not.
who believe that, raise their hand.
Has she ever licked your grout?
See, that's not clever. Cleaned along my baseboard. Clever.
Licked your grout isn't clever?
Well, you don't lick grout. That's
No
a misnomer.
kidding. No kidding.
I always
Idiot.
wash before she comes over. I have no grout.
Yeah.
Does she bleach your grout? Would that be better?
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So you're really dating her, or you're just making that up to make a story?
Well, dating is a weird word. I have a relationship.
You do? With the
I
topless maid.
Jealous.
No, when you
I'm
tell
going
you
to call
what,
you JJ. Jealous
fly her
Jay.
down to Florida, have her meet your mom, and your mother goes, "So, Kinga, what do you do for a living?" "Well, I'm a topless maid."
Rodney loves people like that.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck.
That's like Kid Rock's sister told me that he would bring real live prostitutes that he was in love with, or strippers. I mean,
You even admitted, Jay, that you were in love with a girl that was a stripper.
Has she ever Swiffered your sack? You know, there are replacements for the Swiffer, but not for the sack. You can get a little Swiffer replacement.
She always asks me, do you want a bag with that?
All right, the show is going to continue. It's the Jay Thomas Show with
I'll
Rodney,
bring her on.
with Rodney Two Dick Conover at Sirius Stars 102.
The ultimate concert party is on Sirius. Jimmy Buffett Live on Radio Margaritaville.
This party is not done yet. All right.
And the concert comes to you commercial-free and uninterrupted. This Saturday night, it's the final night on the Year of Still Here tour, all without leaving your Sirius radio. The pre-concert tailgate party starts at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by Jimmy Buffett live on stage, exclusively on Sirius 31 Radio Margaritaville.
So you want to stop smoking? Well, you could try the nicotine patch or gums to find out they have a success rate of 7% and no refunds when it doesn't work 93% of the time. Here's a better option. It's called All Natural Smoke Free, and it's a complete stop smoking program with no caffeine or nicotine. And here's the best part. You can try it free. Grab a pen and take this number down. 1-800-218-0291 to get your free order of All Natural Smoke Free. Call 1-800-218-0291. 1-800-218-0291.
Hey, the Best of XM available now. The Best of XM is available right now. That's right. With the Best of XM, wake up every morning to us, Opie and Anthony, completely uncensored. Uncensored on the virus with replays throughout the day and over the weekends. You're also going to hear the wonderfulness that is Ron and Fez.
I've never had a date who's eaten quite so much. What are you using, a snow shovel as a utensil?
Ron and Fez every day. The Best of XM is available now. Call. What are you doing? 888-7-BEST-XM. That's 888-723-7896.
Opie and Anthony Uncensored. Ron and Fez. The NBA. College sports including the ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, Big East, Pac-10, and SEC. The PGA Tour Network, the IRL, and NHL Home Ice. The Best of XM is available now. Call 888-7-BEST-XM. Or go to Sirius.com.
Available to U.S. subscribers only.
Out of luck finding the right parts and accessories for your older Sirius radio? Go to to TSSradio.com now to get the parts you need. They have replacement Sportster replay radios, Sportster home kits, StarMate replay boomboxes, Soloist to dock and play your Stiletto 100. Looking for a new radio? The a la carte capable StarMate 5 is the answer. TSS Radio prides itself on offering plenty of helpful products and solutions for Sirius subscribers and new customers. Same-day shipping on orders placed before 5 p.m. Central. Don't wait. Visit TSSradio.com or call 773-772-4340 for everything Sirius.
The Jay Thomas Show, Sirius Stars 102 with Rodney Lee Conover. If you were near a television today, you might have seen me on Dr. Phil. And then I'm going to be on the Today Show on Friday, but I forgot that I do the Howard Stern Show on 101. So they called up and I said, yeah, we'd love to do the Today Show, but, I'm on the air from 7 to, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And they went, then at 10 o'clock, Kathy Lee Gifford is also on the Today Show. And I went like this. I went, and they went, so you'll just do it with Kathy. And we all went, okay. And we'll still call the Today Show.
Oh, that's great.
Did you see the clip where she got drunk on air during the Today Show?
How did she get, when?
They were doing, mixologist or something, and she was drinking, and she just started getting all loopy and just making really bad jokes, and everyone got uncomfortable and didn't know what to do.
You mean it wasn't one of those drinking and driving things? It was like she started having cocktails?
Uh-huh.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
Okay, well, fine.
I'd love to hear it. Not going to And she's on there with another woman, isn't she?
Yes.
Oh, you got that right.
Why, do you know the other woman? What do you know about that other woman?
Kinga's sister.
You're a liar. All right. As I was going to say earlier, we were talking about hot cars. Are
we on the air?
Yes, we're on the air.
God, I'm drunk.
A New York man drove his car onto the train tracks because his GPS device told him to. The man and his son managed to scramble out of the car before it was demolished by a commuter train. At least he had the sense to get out of the car, said the railroad spokesman, noting that the GPS advice did not help the motorist make that decision. So it went, turn left 100 yards, turn right at the next end. And he did. He just got on the railroad tracks. And that was it. Idiots. Do you have her? Do we have her? You have her, Garrett?
I'm still looking.
Okay.
Just queuing it up.
Okay. Well, don't smile like that then.
Sorry.
We want to get Carrie Fisher on here. She has written a tell-all book, and she tells it all. Her addictions, she's been committed to the mental hospital, and she says her last husband accused her of turning him gay. And when she was married to Paul Simon, she was going out of town. He was staying at the airport. I turned to him and said, you'll feel bad if I crash. And Paul Simon shrugged and said, maybe not. Sean, we got to get Carrie Fisher on this show. We need people that talk like that. So, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. You have it, Garrett? What are you doing? Oh, too bad. They take it off already?
Looks like it.
Damn it to hell. By the way, I gave advice on the Vice Fund. Booze and beer and cigarettes and all that. Guess what? It's not doing well either. Liquor. And how can that be, Rodney? How can that be going down?
Well,
even Vice things are being affected.
I'm just waiting for them to bail out the drunks.
And then we'll buy the Vice Fund. All right. Hey, Rodney, thank you very much. You and King enjoy yourselves. All right. It's the Jay Thomas Show from New York. Rodney Lee Conover's in California. If you missed any part of the show, tough. Can't ever hear it again, ever, as long as you live. Does it run at night? Does it run midnight to 3?
Yes, it does. Midnight to 3 Eastern Time on Sirius Stars 102, Jay.
There you go. Thanks a lot. You can listen to yourself again tonight, Rodney.
Nice.
See you later. Well, that ought to hold the little bastards for a while. Hey, way to get the thing you said you were going to get, Garrett. Nice going.
Sorry.
Yeah, I had to start reading stupid stories.
Sorry.
I was out of stupid stories.